Howdy, everybody. We are Everybody's a Mimic, an actual play 5th edition podcast playing Rime of the Frostmaiden in Icewind Dale. And I messed up the name of the book that we are playing. My name is Corey. I am your dungeon master, and I am joined here by our group of adventurers, and there is no way they can fail.
Ugh.
Oh, God. I am Carson. I play Beat Yetimated. And he's Polly, and he probably wants a cracker.
Nice to meet you, Carson.
Damn you to hell.
How many snow puns is our DM going to make today?
Hopefully
I think
4.
he'll make snow more of them. Snow
Okay,
more.
hopefully there's no more. They're not very ice.
You guys are just using what I did against me. So you're just as bad as me. Anyways, moving on. Who's next?
I'm Blake. I play Del Nadre Miracas, and today I will be representing the long arm of the law.
I am Rachel. I play Rosemary Bonecrusher, your local contradiction.
All right. And we are not joined by Levi, the 4th member of our group. 4th? 5th?
4th player?
Fourth.
5th member,
Yeah.
4th player, yes, of our group. Unfortunately, he had something else to do. So in today's session, Levi will just be following along.
Levi
Having a-
dies.
Not that drastic. He just has a stomach ache that prevents him from talking and role playing in any sort of way, making any kind of checks, and just generally being useless to the party. It's probably because he chooses not to wear any clothes and he got sick.
I knew he would catch cold eventually.
Somebody should have told him. So we are picking up our session 1 month in the future in real life time and 10 days in the future in in-game time. After the election of Del Nadri as town speaker of Goodmead and the usurping / uncovering of the terrible deeds of Shandar in Goodmead, this town has spent 10 days there, a week in Forgotten Realms, figuring out how to move forward with Goodmead. Each of them put together tasks they worked together with the townspeople on, and there are a couple of updates we're going to let you guys know. So while Del Madre is the town speaker of Goodmead, he's not going to be spending the whole time in Goodmead unless you had another character rolled up and ready to go.
No.
So he has chosen a cabinet, 2 individuals there in Goodmead that will be ruling by proxy. That is Dooley Colgrog, the meterist and bartender of the meadery, and Granny Olivessa, the great aunt and elder of the town. Not the great aunt of Dunaldry, great aunt of the previous speaker. So, continuing forward, we have Bitte, who spent time getting trained on how to craft bone and wood from the fishbone jewelry maker as well as the lumberjacks, which he was able to successfully add that to his repertoire of skills. And he also spent some time securing shipping contracts with the focus on analytical and efficiency, which unfortunately meant that he was only going to be able to get just a few that fit his travel schedule. And so he has some things to deliver in Caer Dineval and Caer Koenig. Next up, we have Rosemary, who spent a lot of her time forming unions in Goodmead. However, was unsuccessful in convincing the members of each of the guilds to give up a portion of their profits to put into a hazard pay fund. But she was successful in convincing the lumberjacks to craft a larger sled and to convince and domesticate some of the local reindeer from the nearby forest to pull the sled through a clever use of animal handling and speak with animals. And so the shipping capabilities of Goodmead have increased not so much speed wise, but capacity wise. And finally, Levi spent time doing small jobs around town. He was tasked with scooping up the numerous amount of byproducts of wax and honey from the meadery. He also helped haul the log, taking up the slack for the three missing lumberjacks that are no longer working within Goodmead, and finally deboning raw and rotten fish for the fishbone jewelry lady, so that she can from the oh goodness, I just have
Artisans Guild?
yes, she is from the Hardensons Guild, but from the offering that the town made to Oral. And so the last update that we have before our party continues on, getting ready to leave Goodmead, is that Shandar, for his crimes against Goodmead, for his crimes against the people and the previous townspeaker, has been executed. He was put to death in what manner, Dalnadre?
Um. mm, Douse him in water and leave him out overnight.
Shit.
Death by ice. It is a
Seems
very
traditional.
fitting death to appease Oral as well. Justice, the hapless young lumberjack, nothing but innocence and naivete, has earned community service, and Brom Blackwater, the mysterious gentleman who had always followed Shandar, is nowhere to be seen, disappeared in the midst of the attack of the thugs. And so we are now returning with our team here, the party, the adventurers, getting ready to leave Goodmead. You have a
Are we
trek.
not?
Go on.
Are we not going to mention Bitte and the crop top halfling?
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot about that. And finally, Bitte and a crop top halfling who wears the crop top specifically to show off his abs, okay, had a little bit of a fling, a little affair, so to speak. We'll see how that plays out the next time we come back to Goodmead. But that was something witnessed by Rosemary as Bitte was leaving the lumberjacks' quarters early the next morning. And
Gave him a thumbs up.
yes, just a solitary thumbs up was acknowledged, and that was that. So
Beautiful.
we now join you guys. You're getting ready to leave. What time would you guys like to leave Goodmead?
How long of a trek is it from Goodmead to Caer Konig? Or I guess Goodmead to Caer Dineval, because that's like the
So
midpoint.
yeah, assuming you are going by foot over the path with snowshoes, it will take you um, 8 hours to reach Caer Dineval, and an
We also
additional
have
two
the
hours.
capybaras.
Yes, this is true. However, you do have the Bitte is carrying the cask of the sled with the mead that is being shipped to Caer Konig, as well as the other shipments that he has. So you're you guys are able to increase your movement speed if you decide to purchase like an additional sled with some sled dogs. But otherwise, you'll be going just by foot speed, just given how much stuff you guys are taking with you.
Do we want to just make a all-day trek? Leave relatively early in the morning.
That's fine.
Yeah, works for me.
Okay. So you guys set out at 8, 10, sunrise? What would it be?
Yeah. I'd say sunrise.
Sunrise-ish.
All right. Um, let's see. So you guys reach Caer Dineval, setting out from Goodmead. It's a fairly beautiful day. There is a strong wind coming in from the north. Uh, carrying some, just kind of carrying snowdrifts across the ground. But for the most part, you have an easy trek going through. Assuming you leave, say, around 7 a.m. or so, you will reach Caer Dineval right at about 3 p.m. And so you guys come to the town. Now, are we simply swinging by the town, dropping off the talisman, and continuing to Caer Konig, or would you guys like to go more into the town proper, ask around a little bit, see what's happening there, and then move on?
I think probably just drop it off and move on.
Drop it off and move on. Would you guys like to take a look at the town?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I used
paint
to
us
like
a word
that.
picture.
Paint a word picture. I can paint you a real picture. Uh, this is what Caer Dineval looks once it starts to get
The
loaded.
big black screen.
Oh yeah, that would
It's
probably help.
very-
Well, if
Caer Dineval is consumed by the darkness in people's hearts.
let me turn on the
I
light.
was seeing if it was a lighting issue, so I just dropped him out.
There we
Myself in
go.
there.
Yeah, that should work. Put
Should
there.
it?
Yeah. It just needs
Oh.
a person on the map before it actually decides that it is. So here is Caer Dineval. Nice and pretty. You have the castle on the top, some um, frozen docks there. It's very much built around this. The the little inlet it has there. Everything's up on a little cliff. You have a pretty steep going down to get down to the bottom, and it's a fairly quiet town. Um, walking through, you guys make your way to one of the houses for where your symbol of protection is being delivered. The person who accepts it kind of just throws a gold coin at you and closes the door without much of a introduction or thank you or anything. Seems to be some sort of eerie calm cast over this town, even in what is essentially just the mid-afternoon.
Yeah, it's weird that there's like no one around, like finishing up their workday or just going about their business.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It is odd. So, continuing on.
I'm gonna light the Chewinga lantern and just kind of.
Wave it around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we haven't found the Chewinga.
No,
Were we supposed to bring a Chewinga to
That's what she asked us to do.
Yes, so she's still
Okay.
waiting there in good mead. She would like you to return a Chewinga to her. And should you return a Chewinga, you will get 25 gold. That was what
A
the
Chewinga took our fox.
stipulation of the quest. Yes, you had met one Chewinga already, and it did knight itself and become the fox rider, Sir Flufferton of Foxville, is what it called itself.
Okay, you added some silly stuff on there, but the Fox Rider is a dope ass name.
Yeah, honestly.
And so, if there's anything else, would you guys like to inspect Caer Dineval a bit further? You are unable to find any Chewingas after walking the length of the town.
How far, like time-wise, are we from Caer Konig? Would we be able to get there like tonight before it gets too late and too cold, or should we stay the night in Caer Dineval?
It's only about 2 hours further down the road. You've done majority of your trek was on the way to Caer Dineval.
So we can
And
get there by
so
like 5-ish.
yeah. So if you started leaving out now, given the way Oral's everlasting rime has affected, just generally light here on Icewind Dale, it starts to get a lot darker, a lot quicker, and yeah. So I mean, even if you were to arrive at Caer Dineval, even in 2 hours, it would still be dark. It's kind of darkish now in the late afternoon, but the cold nightly weather wouldn't really be um, rolling in until well after you attempted to make the trek. So you're still safe to go if that is what you choose.
What do y'all think?
I kind of want to get like some basic information on what's going on here. Like
Yeah,
even if
it
we
would
get just
be.
like the slightest idea, and then we can always come back.
Yeah.
Is there like a public gathering, like a mead hall or
There is the uphill
tavern?
climb.
The uphill climb.
So
Well, there
now
you
that
go.
we're spending a bit more time, let me give you guys the reading of what this town is. Give you more of an introduction here. So
Word
Also,
picture.
there's not really much of an introduction at
picture
all,
these
anyways.
words.
um, so from what this is some information that you guys have based on Bitte's knowledge of the area. So Caer um, is just another old dwarvish town that was built specifically a lot around the Caer, the castle that is still just on top of the rocky shore of Loch Dinishir, with even still the mountain of Kelvin's Cairn still well behind it, or looming over it. And so um, you can see that the town is fairly silent. There's not a lot of people walking around. As you kind of knock on some doors trying to figure out where you can go, the townspeople tell you that the only inn in town has closed up. And if you want some more information about, lodgings and stuff, you could try the Uphill Climb, which is the tavern that they have here in town. It's on the way to the Care, and he kind of just closes the door before he even points you in the right direction. But it's uh, very much a common sense thing that it's going there. And so here on the map, that is where the closed inn was. Hello.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, you sounded like you were going to say something else.
no, I where would you what? Yeah. So so the NPC, the townsperson, essentially told you the uphill climb will be the best place. However, you can't just skip it and go straight to the castle. There are a couple of lights on in the castle that you can see even in this mid afternoon.
Do we want to be castle crashers? Should we go?
Either way, I feel like the castle is probably the best way to find out what's actually going on, but also the best way to get hooked.
Yeah. Let's see if there's anyone at the tavern who might be able to clue us in a little bit. Everyone seems rude here.
All right, so you guys make your way up to the tavern, and you immediately kind of walk up and the windows are open, and there's just this lovely scent floating out of it of a nice warm or nice hot chowder. It's the wafting out, and it draws you closer, and you can see inside, just like the town, the uphill climb is fairly deserted. There is one human that is the kind of what looks like to be the owner. He's walking around, giving a bowl to another guest, just a dwarf that is sitting there with nothing in his hand but a bowl of chowder. And this is what you see when you are looking through the window. So you have not entered the uphill climb yet.
Y'all want to go in?
Yeah.
Yes.
First, it'll probably be a good thing to take a rest in a slightly less good bed before we potentially may be camping.
I mean, we
Gives us
can
a
still
chance to
make
acclimate.
Caer Koenig tonight if we want to.
This is true.
Because what I'm worried about is that someone's going to steal the mead from us.
Mhm.
That is very true. You do still have a crate of candles that are due to be shipped to Frozen Far Expedition, as well as the casks of mead that are set to go to Caer Koenig.
Levi, do you feel up to watching the cart? Nod if you're okay with that.
He nodded. It's okay.
All right, I'll
What
put
is
Levi on
sports? You're
cart watch.
really turning out to be a very amicable and helpful friend.
Let's see. Got his perception going on. Nobody's going to.
Nice.
Not bad. Okay, he is on watch. Go away.
Nobody getting past him,
Nobody
even if
is
he does have food poisoning.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so you guys enter the uphill climb almost immediately, almost even before you open the door. Roark's face just kind of like lifts up. He looks at you and he smiles, and he sees you guys enter in. But his smile is quick-lived as he just slowly kind of turns to more of a reserved, remote face. He's like, welcome. Welcome to the uphill climb. Can I get you a bowl of chowder? Just finished a pot.
How much would
Sure.
3 bowls be?
Mm. Just a couple silver pieces, I suppose.
That
Excellent.
works.
We will have 4 bowls.
Okay, that'll be 4 silver pieces, please. And kind of just walks back into the kitchen, starts grabbing up a bunch of, um, you kind of hear him very loudly just slam some bowls onto the table, pull off this what seems to be a very heavy lid to a big pot, clank it down, and stir it around. And within just a
Uh,
short
It
time,
down, stir it around.
he comes back out with 4 steaming bowls of hot chowder. He also kind of sets the bowls down. He's like, "Here you go." Walks back to the kitchen, comes back with 4 cups of water.
Oh, that's
Right.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah,
um,
it's all we have.
Rosemary
So
pays for.
pays 4 silver pieces. She gladly takes them, puts them in his pocket. He's like, "So, what brings y'all to town? You have
Oh, yeah.
business here?"
Traveling through.
Nothing,
We
Traveling?
had business.
but we would have a spot of lunch.
Well,
Oh, and I made a delivery.
where are you coming from?
Good mate.
Ah, I heard that town had quite a shakeup with their speaker dying.
Indeed,
They've
they
got
did.
it. They've got a new speaker now. I
No,
think they're in good hands.
that was quick. Well, it's good for them. We haven't seen our speaker in just a little while. She's spending most of her time up in the care.
Oh.
Okay, good seclusion, not missing.
Not death.
But
Yeah, no,
you're a pretty morbid group if you jump to missing or death.
no. She's not missing. She's still up there, and she's not dead. At least not that we had heard of last. But, spent a lot more time of herself in the care and kind of closed up walls. But she just doesn't want to get anybody else sick. I appreciate her thoughtfulness.
She's sick?
Yes. She. At least what we heard is that she'd come down with something. It's taken her time to seclude herself in the tower of the care.
Has anyone sent for a doctor or
Yes.
something?
We've had a couple of doctors visit, traveling by, as well as the medicine man of our town, as well as the physician of our town. But nothing seems to be working.
Interesting.
Well, perhaps not perhaps more of a traditional medicine man, but I have some small skill at healing, and as does our Rosie here.
Yeah, I could take a look potentially if you'd like.
Oh well, uh, I'm sure. I just realized I named the town speaker a she. and not a he. But we're going to go with it. The townspeople
Girl
is not a
power.
she. So I'm sure she would appreciate it, but it'd be fairly difficult to be able to get into the care with. Do you have any qualifications, justifications? How will you prove to the guardsmen that you are there in a goodwill mission?
I am magic.
Hmm.
Got magic healing. Like, wave my hands and what cantrips do I have?
You have guidance. Do you have prestidigitation? Because that'd be a perfect opportunity there.
Druidcraft?
I have guidance and thorn whip.
Okay. So which one are you going to use to to show off your magic there, Rosemary?
I wonder what guidance looks like.
Your fingertips just start to glow.
Yeah, I'll do guidance because I don't want to fuck up the tavern.
Damn, I was really hoping you were gonna like thorn whip some chair over here.
I considered
I
it.
come in peace, I say as I lash out my vine whip and smash furniture.
So
Rosemary smash.
it's like, oh, well, I suppose you could try if you plan on staying in town any longer. Anyways, that's the only place we have lodging. So you're
People
seemingly
stay in the
making your
castle?
way to the care, anyways.
There's lodge people in the castle?
Well, yeah, my rooms here are just under repair.
Hmm.
Like how we're all
do we believe
scrutinizing
him?
this guy.
Do we believe him, or does it seem like there's sick people being quarantined in the rooms? Because that's kind of my vibe.
I don't know. I mean, is this a? Would you like to roll insight to see whether or not you believe this gentleman?
In fact, I would.
Yeah. um, you can tell something is quite. He's not telling you the full story, but you don't suspect he has any sort of sinister intent.
Yeah, it seems weird that's like, oh yeah, you need qualifications to get into the castle, but also that's the only place where there's lodging. It's like, oh yeah, you gotta prove you're worthy, but also it's essentially the Holiday Inn.
Well, you
Are
know.
you worthy of a continental breakfast, you piece of shit?
Yeah. I mean, walking up at the doctor versus walking up at somebody who's lodging, slightly different way of trying to get in. Now, if you
I
had
have a
just mentioned
+6 to medicine, boy.
walk up with like a dead bird and rub its back and come back to life. Haha. Let me in. I can heal your friend.
So it's I guess we're all saying that if you're gonna go on vacation, don't even mention your profession unless you're ready to back it up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Lodgers, yeah, sure,
Is
come
there
on
a
in,
doctor
grab
on
a
this
room.
plane? Okay, prove it.
Oh, you're a doctor? You want to stay in our rooms? You doctor? Prove it.
There are very distrusting people for anybody who has qualifications. Oh, you're a lawyer? Oh, yeah? Okay, well, let's put you on trial, sir.
Christ.
See how well you could do that. All right, so the chowder that you guys eat is really delicious. And the water tastes like he just melted some ice into a cup.
I will try to advertise for Good Mead and also Good Mead Lumber if your rooms are under construction.
The mention of Good Mead's mead, the one dwarf that's that's sitting there in the tavern, like just his back straightens up. You can tell he's still he hasn't looked directly at you guys, but he immediately reacted whenever you mentioned Good Mead, And you can just spy his eye is peeking a little bit over his shoulder, just looking at you guys. And Roark kind of just like, oh, well, yeah, it would be nice to have some good mead, but kind of shipment stopped. To be honest, I don't have any alcohol here.
Well, you're in luck. Shortly there will be resumed shipments with the speaker issues settled in good mead. The shipments will be continuing again.
Well, typically, our speaker has handled in all of our town-to-town commerce, so kind of ground to a halt a little bit while she's been sick, but it's okay. She's spending time to get better. We want to make sure that she is in tip-top shape when she gets through this.
Healing is important.
We'll do what we can to help. Question, what was the, like, race of the guy who ran away who was, one of the lumberjacks?
Oh, human.
Okay. So there's,
So there's
no
what?
chance of this dwarf being in disguise as the guy who ran away.
No.
Welcome with a COVID immunization reminder for person.
Hello.
If this is person. If not, press 2.
Carson, we all.
Para español,
We can all hear your phone.
I'm sorry. God, where's my
A
fucking
COVID
mute?
immunization reminder
So
for Carson.
is that the way that's how Rosemary or Carson is showing that he's a doctor? He's like, hey, look at this. Pulls out a phone and shows off a recording. See,
Wild.
I'm a doctor by getting this shot.
God, I wish.
I don't know.
We'd all be
Seems
doctors.
kinda late in the immunization cycle for you to be getting one if you're a medical professional.
Yeah. I gave my spot to other people. That's why I'm only going now.
Selfless.
Yeah, right. Just so selfless. Okay, so decision time. Would you guys like to, before you spend any more time here in Caer Dineval, would you like to stay the night, check out what's going on with the speaker, or would you like to continue to Caer Koenig and figure out what's going on there?
Rosemary kind of wants to see what she can do to help with the speaker, but also she does know that we're on, like, a delivery at the moment. So, like, maybe if we
You can
go
at least-
drop off the mead in Caer Koenig.
You could always come back tomorrow. It's literally a 2-hour walk.
Yeah, we could do that.
And you're no matter what passing back through Caer Dineval, so it's not like it's you're passing the turn and you just had to go the other way. You have to pass through here anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do
But
that.
it's y'all's decision. I don't want to say one way or the other.
We'll
What do
hit
y'all
in the
think?
morning. That'll give us an opportunity to maybe pick up some medicinal herbs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can go get, like, a supply run, because isn't there that the store that we're delivering the candles to? Like the
Yes.
adventure store?
Yeah, it's an expedition store. They probably have some healing potions or something that can help. Maybe some first aid kits.
Bold of you to assume
Yeah.
we can afford healing potions. Like 2 gold pieces.
You're fine. All right, so let us continue on. We are going now to Caer Koenig. Dun, 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 dun. So by the time you guys arrive, and we will give you daylight mode. So if we can put somebody's thing down. Oops. There we go. Can you guys see everything?
No. Yes. Now. Now we can.
You have to have
yeah,
your
'cause-
own character token on.
I put
Quick-
Levi's
quick-
character and I was like, why can't you see anything?
quick clarification: the amulet of protection thing that Beta delivered, that wasn't like a real life amulet of protection.
You mean like a magical item?
Yeah.
No, it was just like a symbol of a god. That
Okay. I mean, Beta wouldn't have stolen it anyway, but Carson would have wanted to find an excuse to steal it.
Beta wouldn't
Waved
have.
it tantalizingly in front of probably not Levi, but probably Dell.
All right, so here we are in Caer Konig. So as you guys arrive, walking into the edge of town, it's starting to get a bit dark now. You're stopped at Caer Dineval, eating dinner, talking with Roark, debating on whether or not you want to continue as the Caer. You are now arriving in Caer Konig after the sun has set. Not much after. In fact, you saw it set or so. You saw the glow kind of disappear from the sky as the horizon and the sky is kind of overcast with some clouds, not stormy clouds, just clouds covering up the night sky, making it even kind of darker than before. Um, you kind of walk up, and Caer Konig sits quietly at the foot of Kelvin's Cairn, the large looming mountain just northwest of town. Uh, and a few people kind of bundled up and shuffling between some of the snow-battered houses here in Caer Konig. So you see already some more life to the town than you saw in Caer Dineval. But they do keep their heads down, barely bothering you as they walk past you, and all of them seem to be going home. Nobody seems to be kind of coming out and going to the local tavern or the local inn. As you walk past, you see a large lump of snow kind of right there outside the edge of town. So imagining, I'll click on the town over here. If you guys are over here as you're entering in, just as you're kind of passing the ruined Caird on the left-hand side, right there next to this crossroads, you see just this large lump of snow.
Is it a suspicious lump of snow?
No, it's just a lump of snow. So you continue on, and right as you're about to pass it, it explodes. Snow
It is
flying
a suspicious
everywhere.
lump of snow.
I promise there's nothing suspicious about it. Anyways, it kills you.
And
TPK.
someone hidden beneath it stands up. You see their hard, scaly exterior, their large fangs, their armor, and in their hand they carry a large bottle of an large empty bottle of what you assume to have been some sort of spirit. Who goes there? Is it thieves? Have I found those creeping bastards?
Hello.
Wha-
Are you okay?
Are you the
You were
thief?
sleeping.
Hands up, thieves! I've caught you.
Are you warm enough? I think you might have the hypothermia if you fell asleep in the snow.
He kind of like pulls a scarf down that was covering his neck. It wasn't covering his mouth at all, but he pulls it down like as if he's too hot. Kind of shrinks it around, kind of giving himself a little bit more space between his neck and his scarf. And you can see his skin now is a silver dragonborn, holding his empty wine bottle that is now brandishing as a weapon. He's focusing mostly on Rosemary, but he kind of begins to scan the rest of the group, and he finally settles eyes on Bitte, and then he settles his eyes on the cask, and he's like, oh. Bitte, my friend, it seems you have come through for the town, have you not? Pardon my manners,
I
you all.
have,
I'm just
Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Well, pardon my manners. I'm a bit jittery a bit now because of all the thieving we've had happening around. My name is.
Rosemary's like trying to take his temperature, like putting her hand up on his forehead.
You're really trying to prove that you're a doctor, aren't you, Dale? You're every
I mean, now
opportunity.
it's in her head, and like this guy just like stumbles out of a snowbank and starts yelling at them. She's like, "This man is not well."
Dr. Bone Crusher, MD.
My name is Trothus. I'm the town speaker. Come with me. We must bring this cask of mead to the Hook, Line, and Sinker. It is high time that we had a drink of good mead. We've been running low. I'm drinking. He kind of like looks at his wine bottle and throws it away. Ugh, wine. Oh, dare I. So, would you guys like to follow him to the Hook, Line, and Sinker?
Judging this man for his town's litter policies.
Well, come on, Betil, let's go deliver the cask and we can give you your payment. Long overdue for sure. You guys spent quite a bit of time in Goodmead. I did not expect that. And, who are your friends here?
This is Del Nadre, Levi, and my dear friend Rosemary.
Rosie, yes, the lady who can't keep her hands to herself. He slaps away your thermometer. Fine.
Thermometer, but she's just like doing the thing where like you put a hand on your forehead and the other person's forehead. But also, I imagine probably Dragonborn are like cold-blooded and orcs are not. So she's just very confused.
You start like burning incense, like waving it around him. Grab some crystals from your pack and put them on him. This is how I imagine your druidic, nomads would have treated people. Of course you have
You know
magic.
what herbs are? We know medicinal plants.
You never know. It could just be a crystal healing society.
Oh my gosh, your chakras are all out of alignment.
Quick, we'll form a fairy circle here and talk to the spirits to really get your feng shui back into out of whack.
Have you tried essential oils?
How long has it been since your last Reiki treatment?
So as you guys are walking, Trovis is kind of just, talking about how, honestly, he's rattling on and on about how much the town has missed Goodmead. They've been without it for almost 2 or 14 days. Now, a week and a half, and people had started to get a bit dissatisfied with the regular grog that we have here in the Hook, Line, and Sinker. But we've all been distracted of that of late. Damn thieves running through my town. No one's seen anything, which is the most frustrating part. All we have are tracks that disappear into the snow. Hell, just last night, not last night, the previous night, the lantern at the Northern Light was stolen. And I know, oh man, the Shoar sisters are going to give me a talking to, spending another night out, another night without catching those thieves.
That's weird. So on to this tavern.
So you guys can continue walking through, and Trovis is still talking. He's like, "Don't worry though, I have a knack for this. I've kept watch every night. I've made it through. Well, I've kind of made it through both of the nights. It's what are you gonna say? I like to drink, and it's just so warm out here. Um, it reminds me of when I was an adventurer in my younger days. One time there's this ogre, and he was giving me a bunch of lip. Oh, he's talking about how he's a full ogre, and I could see it. I could tell he's just a half ogre. And I tell you what, I kicked his ass right into that creek and waved goodbye with a smirk on my face as he just floated on down the river.
Nice.
Oh, man, he had a mouse on him. It reminds me of another time. There were a group of kobolds that were giving us some grief here in town. Oh, I tricked him good. I did. Yes, I did. I tricked him. I made them think I was a dragon in humanoid form, their maker, come walking up to them. Oh, how they bowed. Oh, how they begged for forgiveness. And I gave it to them. I kicked their butt right into the river, and they floated on down, screaming profanities at me.
Rosemary kind of leans over to Bitte and kind of whispers, like, does he ever stop talking?
Well, he has much to talk about. The speaker here is a great warrior. He is the only silver dragonborn whose breath is flammable.
Rosemary just looks to the bottle of alcohol.
that's a good one there. Travis continues on. There's this.
I've been holding on to that for a few minutes now.
He's like, yeah, you know what, Mister Jokes? I remember there was one time you and me had a tussle of words over some mead there in Hook, Line, and Sinker, and I beat your butt in a game of arm wrestling, and man, I tell you what, I kicked his butt right into the river, and I watched him float on by whenever he had all this screaming profanities at me.
Nice.
I just look at Bitte and
The
look back
river
at him,
run
and I'm
through
like,
the
sure.
tavern.
There is actually not a river that runs near the town. It is on the lake. There is a river kind of nearby, but I'd say it's about a 3-hour journey.
Rosemary just like doubt.
So, anyways, at this time, you guys, you're passing by Frozen Far Expeditions, but you can see they've already closed up for the night. So you can either drop your cask or case of candles outside the door, or you can hold it for the night.
I think we'll hold it.
Hold it,
I've heard
considering
a couple
there's
stories
thieves.
about thieves.
I was curious. You never know. And finally, you make your way. Uh, you make your way to what is essentially the town square. Off to the right, as you're coming from the north, going south into Caer Konig, you have the Hook, Line, and Sinker. Um, the door is open. You can see the tavern guy. The tavern owner is speaking with um, a couple of patrons, the half elf, and you can already hear just the loud and boisterous nature of this half elf coming through. And on the other side of the square, past what looks to be a little well, is the Northern Light, a tavern with its windows shut. There's still some light coming from the inside, and an empty hook where you suspect that there was
Lantern.
a lantern. So Trovis kind of walks over to the door and he's like, "Oh, come on, inside. Bring your cask around back, and load it into the workman's door. We can get to drinking. That's for sure." And you guys and Trovis walks in, grabbing a beer from the table that is set right near the door, where there's just a lot of beers just in tankers sitting there, seemingly free to grab.
Huh. Rosemary will look around and take a beer if that seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah. As you walk in, the half elf sees Trovis. He's like, Trovis, is it here? Or is it just another night that you're looking for some liquid courage to get through and find those thieves? And Trovis responds, yeah, yes, it's here. He's coming around back. Go quickly, help him out. Bitte is a big man, but he can always use some help. And the half elf scurries back behind the tavern, behind the bar into the back room, and you hear some doors opening up and heavy thumps.
We'll save a mug for Bitte when he gets around.
Okay. Levi walks in, grabs a beer, and kind of just like slumps down next to the fire that is on the far end of the tavern.
Do you think that's really the best with your stomach? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
He doesn't drink
You
any
already
of
drank the whole thing.
it. I was like, he doesn't drink any of it. He just kind of like grabs one, maybe so that he won't be disturbed anymore, and just slumps down and falls asleep, just in very much pain, clutching his stomach as he tries to warm himself in the fire.
You know,
Poor
I gotta
guy.
say, honestly, this probably isn't reinforcing our doctor's image.
Rosemary not once has offered to help him out.
He's
I'm a
fine.
doctor. Oh, well, your companion seems to be in great pain. He's fine.
He's fine.
Uh, so yeah, so we as you guys kind of filter in, Dale, do you also grab a tankard from the door?
Yes.
All right. So the half elf comes back from around the corner. Trovis has already grabbed his second one, finishing the first, and there is no more tankards left on the table. And the half elf comes out from back and says, "Ah, excellent! I see you guys have found the hook. Once you are done, they get you on the line."
Oh, and then we sink her.
Where does the sinker come in?
Well,
Is
I
that
hope
like
your
a
third drink is
like
not
a
going to be
drop
the
shot?
sinker. Yeah, it's typically the last drink of the night that we call the sinker, and yeah, it's a powerful one. It really questions your ability to walk out of here, competently.
Maybe not tonight,
Buddy,
because we
we
got some
barely even walked in
business.
here competent.
Anyways, tell us, quick. Come around the fire. Sit by your friend over here. Share your stories of good need. We've all heard your speaker died, or the speaker died, rather. None of y'all from the town. But we also heard they had elected a new one already. Seems rather quick, does it not?
Well, it was a carefully deliberated upon decision. They made sure that they found the best person for the job.
Yeah.
Rosemary can't help, like, she's like hiding a smile behind her, like, mouth, or behind her hand.
Oh, so was it one of the lumberjacks? I had heard Shandar was a rather prominent individual there in town. Probably, perhaps, maybe one of the elders, Granny Olivessa. Did they take up the torch?
No,
It was a black horse candidate.
Oh, it wasn't that arborist's daughter, was it? She's kind of a fiery individual. I spent some time in Goodmead. I often had traveled before the Oral's magic flew over the land. Often traveled over to Goodmead. Am quite good friends with Dooley. Oh, was Dooley the town speaker?
no one. There's local.
Oh, so they just elected a passerby, kind of just.
Not just any passerby, and then unsheath the sword. Hiya!
You keep the sword?
Sir, what?
Yeah.
We have flammable objects in here, sir. As you do.
I thought that was like some sort of...
It's like my badge of office. I can't just leave it behind.
I thought it was like a cultural thing for them.
You do have a badge of office as well.
Yeah, this sword.
There is a speaker. There is a speaker's badge you could show. But I do like the sword. Do you have the speaker's badge just like attached to the sword? Like it's on the it's on the hilt?
It's like a keychain on the pommel.
Anyways.
Nah, I probably have that like, like the inside of a jacket or something.
He wraps
So
it
it's
up in
not
his cursed
visible,
item.
but I can, Hail Hydra and flip it out real quick.
So the elf, the half elf, kind of just slams back, like falls back in his chair, and he's like, "Oh, you gave me a fright there, sir. I thought you were about to kill me. Why would you do that? A
No.
flaming sword of anything that you decide to brandish? Oh, man, my thoughts of them."
the flaming sword of Goodmead.
Oh. Yes, I had heard. Typically, that goes to the speaker, does it not? Why do you have it for? You're just a.
Rosemary does like jazz hands of like presenting Dell.
Oh. Oh.
Hey, you're getting there. You're almost there. Come on.
Yeah.
Stop.
Okay.
Beat takes a pull of his mug of ale and goes, It didn't make much sense to us at first, Ether, but it has worked out quite nicely.
Well, I suppose when their speaker dies and the likely candidate just didn't want to run, what happened to Shandar? I mean, he'd been a
Shandar
stubborn
is
individual, but had always seemed to have good meat at heart.
Turns out he's a murderous prick.
Oh.
yeah. I don't think they. Don't think they would have liked having a murderer for a speaker.
That's a good point. Yeah, I can see that. But who did he murder? We've all.
The
The
last
speaker.
speaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. And I suppose you gave him what's what? Speaker Wheelsbearer was a fine gentleman.
Justice has been served.
So
Put him
how
out
did
on
you
the ice.
put him out on the ice? Ooh, that's a good way. You probably offered him up as food, huh?
A little.
That wouldn't have been a bad idea, honestly.
It's an extreme sacrifice of warmth, let's say.
Well, enough about that. Enough about that. Perhaps you can assist Trovis, since you've already seemed to have gotten one town's problem under your belt. Perhaps you can help Trovis here, and kind of gesture to Trovis, who is now coming out of the back of the tavern, holding two very large custom tankards of ale, not ale, of mead. Um, just kind of walking over. He sits down with you guys. So perhaps you can assist Trovis with his thievery problem. Trovis kind of walks up just right at the end. Ah, yes, I'll get them thieves. That's for sure.
Yeah, what's going on? You guys got like bandits or something?
Bandits, bandits. I'll tell you what. There was this one time in my day. There was a group of bandits came to town. Oh, I showed them what's what. Yes, I did. I kicked their ass right into that river and watched them float on down as they were screaming profanities at me. They didn't know what hit them. Me against 20. Oh, what a day. What a day to be alive. Kind of just takes a swig of his.
Anyway,
So, where were we?
The theft.
Where were we?
The theft. Oh, yes, the theft. Yes, those damn thieves. I'll catch them. Yes, I will. Last night, or rather the previous night, they took the magical lantern and the Northern Lights. I haven't actually had a chance to quite investigate what they took today. Glenn, has anybody come by and mentioned that something had gone missing? And Glenn's kind of like, not that I've. No, nobody's come by today. I mean, you know how it's been. After the lantern was stolen, they all have decided they don't want to come and hang out in the hook, line, and sinker every night. The only ones here, and he kind of gestures to the few patrons that are here, are those with nothing to steal at home. Everyone else has been protecting their property. So, anyways, yes. Well, we also had a pair of goats that were stolen from the hook, line, and sinker, actually, and a small sack of pearls and decorative beads were taken from Frozen Far. I'm sure something else was taken last night, and he kind of just trails off, taking another really long drag of mead.
Interesting. How long has this been going on for?
Oh, three nights. That's all. 3 nights we've had. 3 different times we've had something stolen. Last night
In a
was
row?
the 4th night. Yes, in a row.
Damn.
I'm sure something was stolen last night. Perhaps. Oh, you know what? Nobody thought to check my house. And he kind of just rushes off with the bead in hand. Just kind of flies right out the door. And Glenn just watched him go. He's like, yeah. So as you can see, he probably needs some help. Otherwise, we're just going to have another drunk watchman fall asleep in the snow, and we'll have, by the end of the 10-day, we'll have 10 things missing. 11 if you count the fact that I've lost 2 goats.
Suddenly remember the goats in what's his face's cave.
Ducks.
Was it goats or sheep?
It's goats. But the goats were taken just 2 days ago.
Okay.
However,
we were
that
there
doesn't-
like we were there greater than 2 days ago, so
Yeah, but I mean, you have a point though. You never know if he had left afterwards to get more goats. Remember, he was very adamant not to mess with Goodmead. Or rather, you guys are very adamant for him not to mess with Goodmead. Levi attempted to get him to not mess with anything, but I don't think he quite took that part to heart. Just the don't mess with Goodmead part. So let's see. Yeah. Would you guys like to continue drinking here in the hook, line, and sinker?
I'll have the single beer before we probably figure out where we're staying for the night.
So you have your hook. As soon as you finish that single beer, he's already passing you the line. Another beer on the house. Don't worry, on the house. He says as he sets it down and kind of just implores you. He's like, let me go back to closing up shop for the night, and if you guys wish to drink some more, feel free to just swing by the bar. I'll set you up, and don't forget to grab the sinker before you head out. And, might want to take a look around. The Northern Light was the last place that we had something stolen, but as Trovis rushed out of your saying, was last night that we had potentially had something stolen as well. So you never quite know what could happen or where you'll find some stuff. Now that I think about it, I could have swore there was this lady, Elva, her name. She had been going on that some trickster spirit was messing around with her house. I don't think she had quite had anything stolen outside a few cutlery and a plate, but things kept leaving her window open and letting the snow in. Especially bad 3 nights ago when we had a big blizzard come through.
Where does she live at?
Oh, she lives down by, and he gestures to the map where you guys can very clearly see this house right over here, right there on the edge of town. She's over there on the edge of town, so I'm sure it was. I mean, it doesn't sound like the thief, but you never know. Maybe something is bothering her.
Sick, yeah. Let's check it out.
Okay. So, would you guys like to go to Elva's place or the Northern Lights?
What time is it?
It is probably about 11 or so.
At night?
Yeah. You guys had arrived to Caer Dineval at 3, spent about an hour and a half. So you arrived to Caer Koenig right about 8 o'clock. Spent about an hour or so. We're assuming you spent some time in the hook, line, and sinker kind of talking over and resting a little bit. So maybe let's go with it's almost 10.
Still feels a little bit late to go just like knocking on a random person's door.
Yeah.
So maybe just head to the Northern Light and then check out her house in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
If she doesn't get kidnapped. The thievery is escalating.
So you guys move right across the town square to the Northern Lights. As you enter the door, you notice the inn seems to be mostly empty. A young woman looks up and looks at the group and says, is hello there, Bitte?" You know this woman um, to be Allie, one of the Showard sisters who owns the Northern Lights.
Good to see you, Ali.
If you see Trovus, I'm sure he fell asleep. But if you see him, make sure you let him know that if he could just do his best to find um, our lantern, it would be quite oh, what's the word? Oh, I'm so. Anyways, it would be a great help if he could find it. Otherwise, we're gonna have to rename our inn to the Northern. It doesn't quite have as much of a ring to it as the Northern Light.
Very true. We'll definitely make sure that it is on his top priority, as well as perhaps I'll take a look into it for you ourselves.
Good, good. She kind of walks over to the kitchen door and opens it up and just shouts, "Hey, Corey, heat something up for these people. It's cold out there. They're gonna help us find our lantern."
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah, Corey. God damn it. And just start.
Fucking Corey.
When they get to the kitchen, guys. Anyways,
Yeah,
you guys
Corey, get back to the kitchen.
get back to the kitchen. God damn it. So she kind of sets you guys down at the table, brings by the menu, and then immediately picks up the menu because she's like, don't worry, chef's choice tonight. Um, now, somebody roll me perception.
24.
So in the brief moment that the menu had passed down on your table, you were able to glance and just look at it all. Every option on the menu is chef's choice.
Huh.
So it's like soup, chef's choice. Entree, chef's choice.
Chef's choice.
Appetizer, chef's choice. Essentially being that you're not going to choose anything you eat here. It's whatever Corey wants to serve you.
You get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
She puts down a couple of plates and some cutlery, walks around and give you guys some napkins and some water and some other sort of juice. So it has a very nice fragrant smell, but it has a bit of a sour taste to it. She kind of walks. It's like, so you guys, I assume you guys just came to town.
Yes, we
Have a
just got
delivery.
back in with a shipment of the maid.
Excellent. Did you also pick up the shipment for Frozen Far? We've been running low on candles and been
Indeed, I
waiting
did.
for some more to re-up our thing. Excellent. Good. So are you guys staying for long? Are you going to be checking out what's going on in the town? We do hope that you will find our lantern. I know Corey already assumes that you will.
We will do our best.
Do your best. Oh, okay.
Our best is pretty good, to be
Yeah, our
fair.
best has been pretty decent so far.
That's good. Yes. What have you guys done so far?
We have like a 50-50 track record, honestly.
Oh,
Anyway,
so it's a flip of a coin here then.
at this point, Beta will launch into, because Goliath loves storytelling so much, he's going to launch into like a way over detailed and overly passionate account of what they did with the finding of the Verbeeg and the talk and the uncovering of the heinous plot by the villainous Shandar and the reveal of finding the sword and waving it aloft and around all the people and just being super epic, and then Rosemary casting her magic and thundering two of these these vicious thugs right then and there. He really lays it on. He's just, and it's not he's trying to convince. He just loves stories, loves telling them, and boy, does he tell the shit out of this one.
Okay, so about 3/4 of the way through your story, or I'd say actually 1/4 of the way into your story, given how long-winded it is, the door of the kitchen swings open and a stern-looking woman with features very similar to Allie, but a lot more hardened, a lot more stout. Um, kind of walks over carrying a plate, a platter with lots of bowls of soup. She kind of throws them down, spilling a little bit of the soup around as she just kind of sets them there and just, you know, I just want to let you guys know that don't listen to Trovis. I don't know if he's told you, but he's had thoughts that the dwarves from Kelvin's cairn are coming down and they are hungry and they're stealing our food, but I don't think so. I don't think so. We have a good repertoire and a good relationship with the dwarves, and they would never take our lantern. Something and anyways, who ever heard of a sneaky dwarf? Nobody. Somebody would have caught them. There's no reason for a hungry dwarf to have a lantern, I tell you.
Yeah, it seems like you can't eat a lantern.
I
So-
don't want to meet the person who thinks they can. That's for sure. Should you find these thieves and return our lantern, we'll be sure to put you up for a couple of nights and fill your bellies with good food. You know, maybe I'll even crack out my recipe book and cook you something nice.
Aw.
Mm.
But if you don't, I swear you will never get anything good from this place again.
Okay, damn.
She just stares. She's still staring and just standing over you guys, just giving you guys this deep look, and you can tell she means it. She wants her lantern, and she is upset.
What's so special about this lantern? Is it? Could you not like get another lantern?
Lantern? Magical lanterns don't just grow on trees, and if they
It's a
do,
magical lantern.
please point me to this magical lantern. Yes, I can change the color to anything that we want. When we have green beer night, we can change it to green. When we have blue beer night, we can change it to blue. We have a lot more colors than just beer nights, but those are some of our beer night specials.
Well, that's cool. Okay, yeah, I understand now.
Yeah, so if you guys have a magical lantern, or if you find a magical lantern when you're out there searching for these thieves, be sure you bring it back to us, okay? I don't want to be hearing about how you guys are waving around a magical lantern in town and you didn't bring it by.
Yeah.
Oh god, Rosemary really wants to be like, this isn't your lantern. We know that we've gotten this lantern way before 3 days ago, but also she doesn't want these people to be mad at them.
Well, Dale, Rosemary, do you show her the lantern you have?
Rosemary's like looking at Dell, looking at where he keeps the lantern, looking back at Dell.
Shake my head a little bit.
Or like elbows him.
Dale just kind of like, you change the topic, perhaps?
Said, have you ever seen any other magic lanterns? Ones that don't change color on demand, but like change color under certain circumstances, maybe?
She kind of just looks at you and she says, no, and just storms off back to the kitchen.
I mean, I imagine even if there was, that wouldn't really fill the hole. It's not what they're looking for.
She's not trying to give it away,
any-
she's just trying to prove we didn't steal your lantern.
So, you guys eat a nice hearty meal there in the Northern Lights, and for the most part, Allie keeps you company talking about things that have been going on in the town, talking about Trovis, re retelling some of Trovis's stories as she really enjoys listening to his stories throughout throughout her time there in Caer Koenig, and her sister have been running the Northern Light for 10 years, despite their back and forth, despite their heated, almost sister rivalry. They seem to get along fairly well, and are one of the oldest, places here in town. Um, the Northern Light having been open before they had bought it, so kind of like getting into like a historical building aspect there. Anyways, so are there any questions you guys have of Allie as she's just kind of telling you guys stuff?
So there were footprints that just like disappear, right?
Oh yes, well, but it's not so much that they the snow always just wafts in from the dale, and anything that kind of goes out there, I mean, you really have to be. Trovis wasn't the one that he wanted to really hike too far out there. He's a great warrior, but his eyesight has gone a little bit with his age and how often he spends out in the cold. So yeah, that's the that's your answer.
Okay. So I guess we'll stay the night, see if anything happens in the evening, and if there's footprints, we can go track them down.
Yeah, sounds good. So as you guys are getting ready, Hallie's kind of almost, she's about to show you up to where your rooms will be. Trovis comes rushing back into the speaker's house, so from the speaker's house into the Northern Lights, and he says, he immediately shouts, "Allie, Corey, quickly! I need some food. We gotta put out an offering for Oral. I just thought that with the cask of mead and our good fortune turning up, we want to make sure we appease her so that we don't get some bad times to even us back out. Grab me whatever you have. We'll put it out, and I'll stay watch over it with another taker of mead that I'm going to grab right now." So he kind of just closes the door again and rushes off. Toast is good. I'm having buttered bread.
Buttered bread or buttered toast?
I'm having buttered
There is a difference.
There is a difference, yes. I'm having buttered toast. But I said buttered bread because isn't that what your capybaras are named? Butter and bread? Or is it butter and toast?
Oh, it is butter and bread. Bread and butter.
Bread and butter. If you get a third one, you need to name it Pickles.
Why pickles?
Because bread and butter pickles.
But bread and garlic butter.
That's also that's a good one.
You put pickles on your buttered bread?
No. They're bread and butter pickles. Am I getting that right? I'm fairly certain there are bread and butter pickles.
That is a type of pickle, yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
They're like sweet pickles. Sweet and salty pickles.
Huh. Interesting.
But do they
They're
put
good.
bread in them?
No, they do not.
Why
put
are they
bread
called
in them.
that?
They don't put butter in them either.
What the fuck?
Oh well. So yeah. So Trovis having run in, Allie and Corey kind of just start grumbling a little bit. They prepare a fairly large platter of whatever food they had left and set it out by the door. Takes no time at all, but Trovis comes right back and he grabs it and he kind of just walks off with it into the snow. He's going to set up his little offering not too far away from where the Northern Light is. And we'll draw just a little circle right out here. Right there on the edge of the tundra, or the edge of town going towards the tundra.
Sir, would you like to not cause mischief?
No, the cat must cause mischief.
The cat must be distracting while I'm on the podcast.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. So we have you guys. What would you like to do? Would you like to go to sleep and pick up the trail tomorrow morning, seeing if anything has been stolen?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Let's also guard our box of candles so that doesn't get nicked in the night.
Yeah, we'll bring that into the room.
okay. So
Should we
you
bring
all.
bread and butter in since goats are getting kidnapped?
Bread
Oh,
and
bread
butter
and
are
butter
always
definitely coming
in. They always share a bed with me.
They're indoor capybaras.
Yeah, they're indoor capybaras.
Aren't they also sled pulling capybaras?
Yes,
Okay.
they're indoor sled pulling capybaras.
You're part of the indoor sled racing track circuit.
Well, I mean, you know what I fucking mean. They
Um,
don't sleep outside unless
yeah.
we're camping.
Yes. They only sleep outside sometimes. They're like humans whenever they go camping. We're only
Yeah.
outside when we go camping. So, anyways, you guys spend the night in the tavern, and you wake up, and you can already hear uh, commotion coming from downstairs, the Northern Light.
Go see what's up.
And come down to a scene of Allie and Corey berating Trovis, who looks like he woke up way too early from a hangover. He's just kind of like almost half passing out as they are just screaming at him for once again another night, another thief, and he did nothing but sleep it off because he just doesn't know how to control his mead. He fires back with a story about how he met this one tankard that gave him lip and he kicked it right into the river and watched it float on by as it streamed profanities at him. And yes, he said tankard, like a cup. And yeah, so you guys kind of walk on down and are coming into this situation, this commotion. And what do you do?
You said there was a tankard stolen?
That was one of Trovis's stupid stories. Not stupid stories.
Okay.
Heroic tales of his past deeds.
Ah, one of the stupid stories I see.
No. You don't know quite what was stolen. They haven't mentioned that. They just are talking mostly about the fact that Trovis let something be stolen again when he was out on watch, or when he was supposed to be
What?
patrolling and watching the town.
What has gone missing?
What has gone missing? What has gone missing? This is Corey. I'll tell you what's gone missing. Trovis here had a great idea to put out an offering for oral last night, topped it off with a mug of mead, and the damn mead went missing along with half the food. Now, do you think Oral will be pleased with this? Not only are the thieves still in town, they took our offering, and we're going to be paying the piper for this one for sure.
Hmm. Well, I suppose it's best if we go ahead and...
Try to find a trail to follow?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's good.
See if we
We'll
can
keep
solve
Trovis
this.
here. And she kind of
where's the offering? You said, is it this yellow square here?
yes, she kind of just gestures out there. You'll find it. It's out on the only table we keep out in the open, just a little bit of ways from Frozen Far. While you're on your way, you can also give them their candles. So
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, shit.
All right,
Okay.
yeah, let's go drop off the candles and then see what sort of trail we can find.
Alrighty.
Okay. Oh,
We have like breakfast first.
Oh
Corey
yeah, is there
said,
time for breakfast?
She kind of like gives you. She stares daggers at you. You want me to cook for you
You don't have to
before you go and
cook. I
find
mean,
the tracks? Still
I'm
staring
fine.
daggers
Like,
into your eyes. You said she doesn't have to cook. You just want some
you
food.
don't have to like cook. I'm like, I'd be fine with just some like cold meats and cheeses.
Ah, okay. Well, let me go get something for you. She kind of stomps off into the back. Comes back with a very with a little packed lunch or so. Kind of tosses it at you, and it feels like it's just a sack of bricks.
Thank you.
You open it up
So
and you
she turns
find
her back. I'm gonna be like checking to see what is in here.
there's just like a couple of really hard loaves of bread, like very hard. Like you try to take a
Very
nail
stale.
to crack one off, and you almost chip your nail. Um, as well as like a like a you don't know whether or not the cheese is supposed to have mold like that or not.
Hmm.
Like, is it one of those fancy
I
blue
say,
cheese, or is it
thank you.
just
Well, we're going to go try to find your stuff now.
oh, and there was one piece of salted fish.
Nice. I ate the salted fish.
It was full of bones.
Gross.
They're kind of like crunchy, not so much like impossible to take down, but it does scratch your throat a little bit if you choose to eat it like that. And so yeah, so making your way out of the northern lights, you guys kind of walk along the path to the northern end of Cair Koenig, just outside to the east of Frozen Far Expeditions. You find a table that looks like somebody had just kind of wandered through the platter, the feast of food that was set on top, which is slightly covered in snow, and kind of just toss things willy nilly. You see some fish on the ground. There's a bowl of soup that's been tipped over. The mug that you suspect had been uh, holding some mead has been like smashed against the table, but there's no sign that the mead was in it when it was smashed, so somebody drank it. And you do see some footprints, like quite a lot of footprints, kind of stamping around the table from all little directions.
Mm.
And there is one set that kind of goes out to the northeast, just kind of wandering out into the tundra.
All right, there's a direction. Is it heading towards Kelvin's Cairn? Does it look like that?
No, but it's heading out there, and there's really not much out there. Like the closest monument landmark is Kelvin's Cairn, and after that, it's literally just nothing.
Okay. Yeah, let's drop off our box of candles and then head that way.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Swinging by Frozen Far Expedition, you crank open the door. You're greeted there by a shield dwarf who Bete knows as Jarthra. There is also a slightly older human um, named Atenas. 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 So, however you would like to pronounce that, Bete, since he is your friend.
Athens, how are you, my friend?
Good, good. I see you were able to bring our shipment of candles. It's excellent. We've had quite a bit of activity in town of late. But it would have been nice to have your expertise a bit beforehand. I hope you are here to help us out, or are you continuing on an expedition of your own?
Oh, I have certainly heard that there are quite a few bits of excitement going on, but I think I will stick around and help out with this current issue.
Good, good. Well, if you need any more help, feel free to ask Jarthra. I'm sure you could hire him to assist you in any kind of tracking down of these thieves. He's just as well versed in the icy tundra as you are, Bitte. So in the Frozen Far expedition, they sell a variety of adventuring gear, mostly focused around expeditions into Icewind Dale. You have things like sleds hanging on the wall, coats, parkas, scarves, snowshoes, climbing equipment, uh, tents of all shapes and sizes. You have a fairly large tent as well. There are some food for dogs, and you had when you walked inside, there is a shed outside where where Bitte knows that you guys were able to hear there were some dogs, some sled dogs that they kept. They keep out there, which are for rent. You given Bitte's relationship with Frozen Far, any kind of equipment you're looking to buy here, you can get a slightly better deal than you may have bought someplace else.
Is there a healing kit?
Healing kit.
Did we get paid for the mead?
Oh yes. Did we get paid for the mead?
Yeah, because we have like no gold.
Yes, you did. You guys got paid 20 gold. Oh, also, you were given your townspeaker stipend of 20 gold to Del Andre.
Yeah, I was.
Damn.
Let's go.
You don't know. You didn't quite ask how often they give you that, but I can tell you right now, it's not very often.
That's fine.
That may
And
be
did we get paid for
that may be a
the
yearly salary.
dropping off the candles too?
Yes, Bitte got 2 gold for both of his shipments, so it's just a gold for the shipment to Frozen Far.
Do we want to split the
Okay. And then
mead shipment money, or does that like Rosemary would assume that just goes to Bitte because Bitte made the delivery?
that is true. That is true. That Beta is not an overly he doesn't have too much shit to buy on his own, so he's more than happy to help out. So
Rosemary will just like tug on his sleeve and be like, "Can I borrow a gold to buy a healer's kit?"
of course, Beta will hand it to him, and as per their normal arrangement, half of the gold that he receives for the shipment is in like rough unworked nuggets instead of actual coins. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Because it's important to him that he has some gold that's unworked by man.
Okay. So, when it comes with how much gold you have usable in coin form, that's 10 gold from the shipment, 20 gold from Del Nadre's. So that's Del Nadre's gold. Levi has earned 5. No, he earned a little bit less. I think he earned 8 gold when it came to how much he had. I mean, of course, it's Levi's gold. So let's see. Yeah, 5 gold, 3 gold. That's 8, and then 9 gold, 4 silver pieces, 6 copper, and a button. Was what Levi got paid. And then Rosemary, you did not do any money earning aspects when you were in town.
Nah.
So you have whatever you have.
I have 2 gold and 6 silver.
So it kind of looks like the party collectively has access to 40 gold, and then has an additional 10 gold in nuggets. And so a healer's kit costs 10 gold.
Shit.
With a little bit of a discount, he's willing to let it go for 7 gold.
Hey, Bitte, can I borrow 7 gold?
Beta will lend 7 gold to Rosemary.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Or not lend, give, but yeah.
Marks it in his binder. Okay, I'll be taking interest for this and making sure that we get that back. All right.
3% per 10 day.
Yeah. So, you guys is there anything else you'd like to buy? Just to remind you, you do all have snowshoes and you do all have cold weather equipment. So as far as things you really need to buy here, truly, perhaps a better sled, although you do have a functioning-ish sled that the capybaras can pull, um, and sled dogs, which could increase the amount of uh, the speed you could do when you have them. But I don't know whether or not the capybaras and the sled dogs might get along or not. That'd be something. I don't think they're just sled dogs. They're not like wolves, so I don't suspect it would be rude of me to just say, "Oh yeah, they eat your capybaras,"
That would be rude.
or they want to eat your capybaras, I should say.
I feel like as long as they're well fed, they're not going to like go hunting for capybaras.
That's true. So just gotta make sure you buy them lots of food. Um, so yeah, at this time, Jarthra kind of comes in from the back, or rather, finishing up what he's doing, and kind of like wanders over, and he's like, "Yes, I suspect that there's something going on. Something's coming in from the Dale, and if you need my help, I'd be happy to offer my services up. I do have a fee, um, but I can cut you guys a break on how much I charge per day."
Hmm.
I feel
I'm
like,
sure we're capable.
yeah, I think we can handle ourselves, and also we have a very limited supply of gold at the moment.
Well, anyways,
Oh,
go on, Pippin.
I was just gonna say, all true.
Well, should you guys choose using my help, simply come and find me. I'll drop it even more. I'll give you my deal at half off, 5 gold pieces per day of travel. And I know Calvin Cairn better than anyone, possibly even better than Bitte here. So if you should get lost, feel free to come back and you know acquire my services.
If you get
How long
lost,
would it
feel
be
free to
to
be
get?
unlost and come back here.
How long of a travel is it to Calvin's Cairn from here? Because if he's 5 gold a day, it takes us like a day to get there and a day to get back.
um, it's as far as it was from Cair Dinival,
So it's
but
only
there's
2 hours.
not a trail, so you're hiking over. So it
But
probably
it's
would take.
also a big mountain. Just
Yeah, getting there
keep
is no
walking
problem.
towards the mountain.
Yeah, finding the mountain is not a problem. Delandre has a point. I would say it would be about a 4-hour hike on foot. You could make it in 2 hours if you had enough sleds to carry everybody. But remember that your capybara pulled sleds travel at foot if you have everyone in the party on the sled.
Yeah. We could probably just hike out there.
Yeah.
Leave the capybaras here for now.
Okay. Who would you like to leave the capybaras with?
The Northern Light people.
Okay. All right. Allie graciously, kind of accepts them. She's like, "Oh yes, yes, I'll pamper them. Oh yes." And Corey, you hear just tell a joke from the background. "Ah, excellent. I was gonna make some mysterious beet stew tonight, but now it won't be so mysterious."
If you they're very good boys. They love scritches under the chin, and if you cook and or eat them, I will probably come back and kill you.
Just straight up, just like if you
Since
eat
we're
them.
all telling jokes.
If we're all joking around here.
I will crush your bones.
It's like, oh, call me Bone Crusher for nothing.
It is my name. It's the first thing I learned in life was how to crush bones. All Bone Crusher children know this, along with all the other 58 ways to crush bones.
Mm-hmm. It's a family secret.
So yeah, so Allie will take care of the capybaras. You trust them in her hands, And you guys kind of hike on back out to the table to try to pick up the trail? Or would you like just to hike out to
We should
Kelvin's
go talk
cairn?
with that lady.
Oh, yes, the lady.
Do we
Yeah.
want to go talk to the lady? Because I feel like the longer we wait, the more tracks are going to disappear.
Okay, fine, that's fair.
But we can go talk to the lady. I mean, she said that she thought that there were people going to steal from her, but also they didn't steal from her last night.
Yeah, perhaps they did steal from her that last night.
Maybe they did. What do y'all think?
Yeah, maybe they stole her life.
Dun dun dun.
That would be dark. It can't hurt. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, you have plenty of dim light to go around. As much as the daylight is, it's still a full overcast sky. So the sun is shining from behind the clouds. Levi grumbles to break the silence of the decision that needs to be made.
My vote is to head off after the footprints.
Okay, got voting here.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Same.
It
All right,
would
cool.
have been surprising if they had been like, let's go check out the person, and then. But anyways, yes. So roll me a survival check to see if you can pick up the footprints, and it's with advantage. So you're mostly figuring out what it is.
All right,
What-
survival with
Ready?
advantage. Boop.
Boop.
17?
9, 17. The 17, you're able to, they were leather or some sort of shoed boot from a humanoid. Seems to be kind of short, squat, perhaps a dwarf, but you can't quite, tell. It's just looks to be a little heavy foot, and it walks off into the out into the tundra, going this way, not going towards the cairn, which is kind of at the opposite ankle. Would have gone the other way.
All right, let's follow that footsteps.
Okay.
Follow those footsteps.
So you follow the footsteps, and it doesn't take long before they kind of change direction. It kind of heads out that way and then curves off a little bit towards the left before you come across new tracks. These are much larger and what seem to be some sled tracks that are pulled behind. And they cut now going straight northwest, heading straight to the northern side of Kelvin's cairn. And so you can roll me a survival check again if you'd like to try to figure out what these tracks are, or you can just follow
Have advantage?
them. Not at advantage this time.
Okay, I will use guidance.
Okay.
So plus a d4, so that's another 17.
Okay. So you're able to determine that, and given your recent encounter with one again, it seems to be an ogre's foot. The small humanoid creature kind of hopped on a sled, and then the ogre and the sled are the only tracks, and they are going at a fairly good pace, making their way almost like the ogre was jogging, making their way towards Kelvin's cairn. So
I will let my friends know that there are ogre tracks.
so
Again?
again,
Hmm.
you continue on, making your way towards Kelvin cairn. Spend a couple of hours trekking through the snow. But as you get closer to the mountain, the wind starts to shift, and just the way that the mountain kind of divides and acts as a rock and a stream to the wind on the tundra, and you lose sight of the tracks. They kind of just get covered up. They had slowly begun to become shallower and shallower, but when you are just outside with the mountain looming up above you, the tracks have completely disappeared. You're right now kind of on the eastern side of Kelvin's cairn. The tracks were still heading a bit north, but they had begun to kind of curve into the cairn. And so,
Do we see any openings or like caves or signs of life on the cairn?
there are a lot of foothills that could potentially kind of hide caves or other kind of structures that could be there. I mean, you do know the dwarves have a foothold or some sort of mining operation here in the cairn as well. But if you'd like, you can kind of making your way through um, searching the cairn. You just need to make another survival check as a group. So everyone's going to need to roll survival.
Maybe.
Oh, that is. Oh, I like the way that's rolled, Dell. All right. So we have an 18, and a 3.
13.
I don't know nothing about this nature shit.
It's just 3, and we'll roll for Levi here. Let's see how his survival will be. Looks like a 9.
9.
Yeah. All right. You guys are unable to find anything in the foothills. You've crossed off the eastern section, so you can kind of. Would you like to move more south or more north?
Do I remember like a general direction that the footprints were going in before they disappeared?
They were heading more to the north. It had kind of started to curve towards it, but it could always change direction. I mean, it already went out, kind of already. Whoever was going there had already tried to fake out whoever might be following them by going off to the northeast and then hooking back around. Let's go.
What do y'all think? Would we know that there's like a path this way? Like,
That's a valley.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, Beta would probably know the valley there.
yeah.
My brain is saying north, but there's no actual justification behind that.
I mean, that's a pretty good. You can always check multiple times. So, should you wish, let's go with north. I think that'd be a good option. So roll me. We'll do another group of survival checks. Just click here. I
To be clear, we left the capybaras, but Beta is still hauling a sled.
cannot. Okay. Still taking the sled with you. So another 9. Man. All right. So Del Nandre has really gotten his stuff back into it. However, Carson, yours flip flopped. So you search the foothills. You're now on a little bit more north than you were on the eastern side, and still you aren't able to find anything. But you're checking off more.
I'll use my inspiration for the session to take the 22.
Okay. All right. So that will be what you need. Del, what's his name? Bete finally remembers, oh, yes, I had heard or seen of this thing, and it's down here. And you guys kind of make your way a little bit to the northeastern, kind of hidden behind some foothills, and you are now approaching what looks to be some sort of outpost. It doesn't look old, it actually looks fairly recent in structure, and kind of it's still a little bit of a clear day, so you're kind of hiding off a little bit off to the distance. And let's Let's go here. Sorry, let me adjust the site we have here. Let me drop your character tokens. Oops, I need to remember. Okay, so what stands ahead of you guys, and you're farther enough away, so I know you're on the edge of the map as you are right now, but you are far enough away that you're not going to be seen by anything. You do know that there is some sort of outpost or like watchtower or something right there in front, and but you're not close enough to see anything inside the windows. So you're a lot further than what it looks like you are on the map. Is basically what I'm trying to say here. And what stands before you is a blocky stronghold that looks bereft of warmth and charm, and as it juts out of the hillside in a rough crescent shape. You're kind of like had to walk around some foothills to even see this kind of crescent, foothill. So that's why it was not so easy as for you guys to find. Only part of its construction is visible. The rest of it is buried up in snow and stone and snow. A large double door of stone, which is off over here, where this little pathway goes through. Um, and that little pathway here, as you guys got closer, you were able to pick up again on the ogre's sled, and that is you are seeing there on the map. Okay. The large double door of stone serves as the main entrance, and the terrain leading up to it is a gently upward sloping plain that's covered with some fresh snow, with only the sled marks ruining the freshness of the snow. A stream that used to flow out of a barred culvert northeast of the main entrance, but has now been frozen. And two other barred openings can be seen along the Stronghorn's northern wall. Anyone positioned behind these openings would have an unobstructed view of the hillside. That is the area that that you guys are currently standing in. Closer to you, separated from the rest of the stronghold, is a snow-covered stone bunker, perforated by arrow slits. So yes, this is how you guys. So at this time, if you wish to get any closer, knowing that this seems to be some sort of outpost, I will need a stealth check from you guys as you proceed to investigate further.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Damn.
It's a big night for 22s.
I don't know
Damn,
about you.
guys.
I'm feeling 22.
You definitely passed the group check, but I do want to see how well Levi would have done with his stealth.
0. Oh.
Not bad.
Did anyone else see, like, it was
Yeah,
blank
it
and then
keeps
it showed
rolling
up?
in as like blank and then filling in after a little bit.
So I have
Yeah,
3D.
same.
I have 3D dice enabled, but it only happens whenever I roll. I was really hoping it's with everyone rolls, and so until the dice stop rolling, it doesn't fill it in.
Huh.
I didn't even know
Oh,
Roll20
cool. Does
had
that-
a 3D dice feature.
That's dope.
Yeah, there's a enable 3D dice and automatically roll 3D dice, but I'm going to turn it off because it doesn't work. I was hoping it was going to work for everybody so that every roll comes through that way, but it only
I'm
works
gonna make
for
a
you.
sample roll. Click and drag to roll the dice. Oh, can you see that?
Cannot see the dice, no, but we can see
Okay.
that you
No.
have 21. And it did take some time to come in. So you guys have a very stealthy approach. You can choose if you guys would like to approach from the northern edge of this hill or the southern edge of the hill. Remember the northern edge there, that's where the outpost is. And as far as when it comes to like the walls, your walls, you can kind of tell here, start over here. And as you maneuver your way around, it looks to be over here, and you kind of have an obstructive view a little bit of what is behind the stone bunker.
I kind of want to see if we can get around the back of this little bunker here.
Mhm.
Maybe
Yeah,
see if there's anyone in there.
because there are no arrow slits that are on this other side over here. If you were
Mhm.
to come and hug this wall, you'd be in the blind spot of the outpost.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it so.
Okay. All right, move your characters to
Flip.
the north.
And flip.
Okay, just like that.
Is there like a door back here?
Along with you guys. There is no door. The stone just moving around. So the stone bunker um, oh, just goes straight into the ground. There's no other entranceway. The arrow slits are kind of a little bit above, just the where you can walk up to it. So you could honestly have, now that you've come from behind, walked around the front, so long as you're able to walk through the snow without causing too much sound, which you guys are doing a fairly good job of. But there is no entrance into the outpost that you can see. You aren't quite sure exactly how they even get into it.
Probably some sort of like underground entrance connected to the main bunker.
So we dig our way in, tunnel our way into the bunker, and then
Dig.
from there we have access.
Yeah, I mean, you
Maybe
could.
there's a hatch on top.
So let's see. Yeah, the bunker is about. So you see here. Let me show you. Let me bring this things up. So you have how it goes here with the distance between how high it is, and the bunker itself is about 10, I'd say 10 feet to the arrow slits, and on the outside it is just a sheer stone wall to get to the top. The top of it, I would say, let's say, is about 15, maybe a little bit extra above where you are.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna kind of, I guess since the air slits are like 10 feet up, I'm gonna kind of slide around to the front of the building and I don't know, I guess see if I can hear anything.
Roll me perception to see if you can hear anybody who perhaps may be in there. 12.
12.
You one second. Dun 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 dun. I don't want to look there. I just want to look here. Here we go. 12. Also, but they brought a block and bot did block and tackle.
Ow.
Okay. Really wouldn't be doing that. Okay. Let me roll something. All right. You hear something, some creature, humanoid, kind of talking in what you suspect to be Dwarvish. You don't. I don't believe you know Dwarvish.
I
Is that
do
correct?
not.
Okay, but you've heard it. You're aware of how they have, what it sounds like, and so he's talking kind of what you can kind of think it's to himself. You don't hear anybody else that's there, and he's pacing back and forth within the outpost.
Okay. Gonna slide back around and sort of motion at everybody, pointing up towards the arrow slips, then hold up one finger and then like two fingers doing like walkie motion on my other hand, and then flappy hand like a person talking.
Rosemary's just like amused.
Oh, yay, a puppet show. Yay. um, yeah. Um, I suspect, Del, if you really wanted to try to get on top of the outpost, Spite and Rosemary could hoist you up. Spite you're what, 7 feet tall? Person?
Beta is
Beta?
like 8.5 feet tall.
8.5 feet tall. So,
You big boy.
and
Yeah.
Del, you're 5 feet,
5 something.
5 something. So you're still 3 feet down, but you have your arms.
Rosemary's 6'4".
I mean, if you really wanted to, like, 3-person, climb up both of them, we could do that. But I would definitely say that Bite could, like, throw you up with a. So you could grab the edge of the outpost and maybe hoist yourself up further if you'd like to do that.
You've got to toss me.
Well, you know I do.
All right. Beta will go ahead and stand pretty straight up with his back against the thing and put his arms down as in a little saddle to hoist him up.
Mm-hmm.
I will give
Alright.
guidance to this endeavor.
Okay.
Put a foot in the stirrup and ready to jump off of him as he hoists me up.
All right. So
Beta brings his knees down and power cleans the shit.
All right. So I'm gonna do two rolls here from Dell. Actually, we'll do one is necessary. 2 is for flair. First one, I need you to roll me stealth. As you get up there, you are on top of an outpost, and as I mentioned earlier, there
Yep.
were some other,
Natural 20.
Damn,
Okay,
son.
so no problem at all. Okay, now this next one is flair. It's not going to affect your stealth roll at all. I need a acrobatics check as you get up there.
Yep.
Okay, pretty good, yeah. So you kind of like fling up and you're able to hug the edge to the point that like as soon as you reach the top of the outpost, you kind of like fling yourself at a horizontal angle to the top to keep yourself as close as you can. You slide along. So you're not inside. I don't want to. So now you're on top. Up there, there is a um, a little hatch.
Okay.
Seems to
I'm gonna
be
peek over
some.
the edge. I'm gonna like clap my hands together, then flip up the one like it's kind of like a hatch coming up, and then point over and give a thumbs up. And then I'm gonna crawl my way over and peek in the hatch.
Okay. All right. Because you did so well on your stealth before, you're able to kind of like pop it open ever so slightly.
Oh, it's closed.
Yes.
I guess that would make sense.
No, they just leave it open. Get a nice breeze
I guess
in there.
I don't know. I pictured like a propped open hatch, but that seems like that would be kind of counterproductive if it was like actively snowing or.
So you prop it open and it is pure, like almost pitch black in there, except for just the little bit of light that's being let in from the outside. Um, there is a black dwarf standing there, his back turned to you. He's now at this point humming along as he kind of just walks along left to right, moving. Oh, do not put outside. Moving around and pacing around.
He
He
made
does
a
not notice
door.
that you have opened up the hatch.
All right, I'm gonna crawl my way back over to the side so I can see down on everyone. Well, okay, wait. So confirm I can see, and there's definitely only one person in here, right?
There's definitely only one person. There is another hatch on the ground, almost like right below where you are, that seems to go into the ground. Obviously, And that's the only exit from this outpost.
Okay. I'm gonna crawl my way back over. Motion confirming one person, thumbs up. Second, same hatch motion, point down underground and then point off to the place. And then hands up. What do?
Rosemary balls one fist and like puts it into their opposite palm. Just like, get him.
Kill them.
Smile
Like
and
knock him out.
All right. Does anybody? Is this all on me, or does anybody else wanna?
I mean,
All right, I roll my way back over.
You're the rogue, aren't you?
Yeah. You got this.
Okay. I'm gonna.
I mean, if you want a distraction, Beta can knock right below the arrow slit.
Yeah, Rosemary can like. I would assume Bita and Rosemary could like come around the side, and like duck under the arrow slit to like attack once shit starts.
It's a good plan. Go make some noise or something, and then when I'll get him from behind.
All right. Who is making the noise?
I kind of want Rosemary to just like thorn whip through the arrow slit.
Yeah, you can. So I would like another stealth, if that's what you want to do. I would another stealth roll so that you can kind of set yourself up, kind of like hidden down below the arrow slits as you walk, as you see him walking around, and then you can throw. Okay.
19 with guidance.
Okay.
Beta quietly pulls out a javelin, ready to spear it through the arrow slit at the guy.
Okay. So as you get ready to set up,
Also, this is a little murdery, but I'm here for it.
It is a little murdery since we, I guess, technically don't know for sure that this is our perp yet, but like, if we can like knock him out, that would be nice.
I can tell you right
Okay,
now, the javelin does not knock out.
So Beta turns the javelin around, so now it's just like a 4-foot long stick that he can just bash the shit out of someone with.
It can still deal lethal damage, but
he will choose not to.
Unfortunately, sir, you cannot choose not to deal non-lethal damage with a ranged attack, sir.
You don't have to make a ranged attack with a javelin.
Oh, okay, then yes, that's fine.
He wants to like
you want to
poke
bash
it in,
okay.
not.
I was imagining you just turned it around and we're just gonna throw the blunt end at him.
Goodness.
No.
So yes, okay. So Rosemary, get into position. Dell, you're kind of waiting for it, and make an attack roll with disadvantage with your thorn whip as you try to like slip it through the arrow slip and I guess smack him on the head or something. If anything,
Right,
just
melee spell attack would be. Should just have.
Ooh, what's
this,
the
but it's
what's
a
the
plus
reach
5.
on thorn whip?
30 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said melee, and I was like, oh snap! Yes, it is range, but it's like a reach range, huh?
I don't know why my produce flame says plus 6. So just take this, but subtract 1. Oh, nice.
Take this, but
18.
subtract 1. So you get an 18. That definitely hits. So roll me damage as you kind of like catch the face of this Duergar as he's passing by.
1d6. 1d6 piercing damage, so that's 3, and I pull him 10 feet closer to me.
Okay.
So I kind of want to get him like pinned up against the arrow slits so that Bitte can get like a decent hit at him and that he's restrained for Levi. Or not Levi, Dell.
For sure. So like you kind of wrap around, maybe grab a little bit of his hair or something, and you just pull and smack him against the wall that he was already standing in front of. So let's actually roll him a Constitution saving throw. See if he gets kind of knocked around a little bit. Where did I just put that dice? There it is.
Set up
And
this elaborate, like, 3-pronged attack maneuver, and then Rosemary just knocks him out in one go.
uh, he
Also, my spell attack should be a 6, so yeah, no, not subtracting 1.
okay. So with a 19, still good and hitting there. But he's able to get his hands up and kind of as it like grabs his hair, he's able to like put his hands up to defend his face from smacking against the wall. He is like kind of pulled against the wall right now, Dell, as you're peeking in from the roof, and he's kind of just shouting in Dwarvish some kind of just what sounds to be like a moment of uh, like exclaim.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as Rosemary makes the attack, I'd be jumping in. I'm not just gonna be sitting there like watching, letting
Right.
him scream or anything.
All
So,
right. So
I mean, he
jump on
might,
in.
probably yell, like shout out, like when he gets first hit. But
Yeah, it's not very loud. It's more of like a as he kind of gets his thing. He's not made any kind of shout for help yet.
okay. And then, I mean, I guess I'm gonna make a rapier attack, but I'm going for non-lethal.
Okay. Rapier.
Oh, I guess.
Ooh.
Do I have advantage? Because am I attacking from stealth or something?
Yeah, I would say you definitely get your
I'm
sneak
just
attack.
rolling for the crit, I guess.
Yeah, you had
So,
sneak attack damage at least.
all right. And then so 11 damage.
11 damage. So you kind of he after getting his hair stuck in the thorn whip, gets attacked from behind and kind of he whips his head around so fast that he rips out a piece of his hair. And Rosemary, your thorn whip just kind of falls back out this arrow slip with some hair on it. And he sees you, and his first reaction, you can just see his eyes as he just eyes go wide, and he's gonna kind of like shout something in. He's gonna shout something in Dwarvish, and let's roll for initiative.
This is our first
Does Beta
initiative.
not get to
Oh yes, you were
smack
also
somebody?
getting ready to say. Well, so
Hmm.
you're outside. You're trying to smack him with the javelin. You are 8 feet tall, and it's 10 feet above you.
I guess we would be around here. And it
You
looks like the
guys,
arrow slits are like next to each other, so if I could pull him up against one, I assume he would.
right? There's that one that's right there. Okay, Pita, roll to attack as well as you were out there. I'm sorry, Pita. I keep forgetting you. I was like,
You're good.
are you even a person on this?
All right. So
21 will hit.
and it'll be bludgeoning instead of piercing. But
Okay. So he whips around. He's still standing back. He almost took a step back as when he found, um, when he saw Del Nodri attack him from behind. Kind of turns around, takes a step back, and that's when he gets stomped right on the head. And man, he just he goes down for a second, but he is still alive.
yeah, so Beta like sticks the butt of the javelin most of the way through, and then just like flicks his wrist real hard, and gets him right on the back of the head as he looks back at Dell.
Yeah.
And so he just explodes into stars.
Yeah. So he kind of falls forward, but he's still alive. So let's roll initiative now.
All right.
See who's going to get to go first here.
Oh, initiative tracker.
And
It
let
is
me double check. I think I have advantage on initiative. I do have advantage on initiative.
Nice.
I will take the 20.
All right. So Carson with a 20. Carson, what is your dexterity?
1.
1? Okay. So
Plus 1. Plus 1.
Plus 1. Okay. but yeah. All right. So, and Levi will just kind of sit it out. And I guess he's still here. So we'll add him a turn too. Levi.
Levi rushes into action, but then stops to throw up.
It's
Oh
okay.
god, I should not have got up off the sled that fast.
um,
Also,
So-
the sled is like over here somewhere. I'll draw a little box.
all right, Dell, you are up first. The dwarf, he got hit from behind, but he's still on his feet. He's not prone. His back's to the wall, but he's aware now. There's enemies around, and he kind of looks up at you and just darting his eyes between you and the hatch down into the ground.
I'm gonna make another non-lethal attack.
Okay,
Whop. Oof.
that one does not hit. He kind of just he rolls a little bit as you lunge with your rapier, and he's able to dodge it a little bit. So he's now hunkered down a little bit. But to given your size, you can still attack through the arrow slit, almost like
I'm
you
gonna-
hoist yourself up and smack with something through there. But it is going to be with disadvantage because he is kind of doing his best to avoid being hit from behind again.
Okay. Is he technically flanked?
He is not because of how far away you. Well,
It's fine. No flank. What? It's like flanking, but I'm also just a guy waving a stick through a hole. So
yeah, you're not as threatening and distracting as you would be if you had been on the same level.
already, that is probably a miss.
That is a miss. Okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do during your turn? You do not have any sort of attack of opportunity, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, Beta will. Oh, I don't have to worry about an attack of opportunity from them.
From them, yeah. I mean, if you wanted to move away, he can't attack you through the air slit.
Yeah. How tall is the wall?
It's 15 feet to the top. 10 feet to the arrow
Okay.
slit.
Okay, let me do a quick little.
And inside Dell, you notice that the outpost inside is set just a little bit further down, so it's slightly shorter than the outside. You looking up what your vertical jump is?
Yes, I am.
I'm pretty sure it's just a roll.
Beta with a running start can reach that. Actually, without a running start, he can reach the top of that.
So you can jump a number of 3 feet plus your strength modifier. So what's your strength?
His strength is 4.
It's 4. So you move back. You can run forward. You can jump up to 7 feet, giving you 8 feet. That gives you 15. So hands extended, more than enough to hoist yourself up afterwards.
Yeah. So
that will count. You got 10 feet. Are you going to do a 10 feet back, 10 feet forward, and jump up? So that'll be all your movement once you finish like jumping up and like hoisting yourself up.
So I think he can actually. So I use just a little site that just calculates the jump, and it says what you can reach. So it says without a running start, he can reach something 16 feet off the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. So you'd have more than enough movement to kind of like make your way and fall into the. So if you're just starting there, you haven't moved anything 10 feet to go up, you can fall into the outpost next to Del Audrey if you wish.
Cool. So he will do that, and he will draw a hand axe in his other hand and flip it around so that the backside is forward.
Okay. All right. So it is the Durigar's turn, and he is going to kind of just first thing he's going to do once realizing he's going to shout something else in Dwarven, and this one he shouted quite loudly. I mean, he's like at the top of his lungs, shouting as loud as he can, and then he is going to turn invisible. He just kind of goes boop and just disappears from sight. So begins to. You can hear his footprints moving. You can see the little scuffles going on in the ground, and so he's gonna run away.
He would still take opportunity attacks, though.
Yes, and I believe it's with a
Disadvantage.
to hit him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
as a
And we
bonus.
would know if one of the hatches opened.
Yes, I mean, yeah, you'll know him moving around just because he's right in front of you, and with all the snow that's been wafting in, there's a little bit of snow on the inside of this little stone fort, so you know where he's moving. It's just he's moving. So he's gonna start shifting around.
Yeah, apparently official Jeremy Crawford ruling is that, like, during combat, an invisible creature, everyone knows where it is. Like, there's enough going on that you can't. It's not like okay, well, I want to make a ranged attack. Oh, well, you have to guess where they are.
Right.
No, like, his official ruling is you know where the creature is. You just have disadvantage on attacks, and spell attacks can't target them because you have to see your target to use a spell.
Right. So we'll take one
The
attack of
old
opportunity
predator.
from Del Nadre.
Hiya. 10.
10. That does not hit. And then you see the door. The hatch open, and bit to that's when you'll get your attack of opportunity.
Right. So this is another non-lethal sucker. Ba-ba-da. With the back of the hand axe swinging at where he thinks his head is. And that will miss as well.
Yes. So the hatch
So
opens
many
up,
great
and
attack rolls in our sneak round, and then all of a sudden actual combat, and we're like, what do we do?
So he
Man.
opens up the hatch, and you guys are able to get a look inside. That it looks to drop about 20 feet or so. So he is moving.
I wish all my bars hadn't been covering the hatch, or he would have stood over it.
So he kind of he makes his way into the hatch, and you hear him. He's still going down the rungs of the ladder as it turns to Rosemary's turn. So
Hey, I'm
remember,
gonna
you
cast.
guys can still communicate out of your turn if you wanted to update Rosemary.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire down the hatch. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Any creature in the area is also outlined in the light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. So, seeing that the hatch opened and probably hearing that something fell down it,
Right.
she's gonna cast Fairy Fire down the hatch.
A 20-foot cube within range. Yeah, because it's within range. Doesn't say you have to see it, so you
Yeah,
can
it
just
doesn't say I have
focus
to
your
see
20-foot
it.
cube on the outpost, and that's everything's getting there. Okay, so
Yeah, so
it
it
just
needs to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
dexterity saving throw. Now, how do you guys imagine it's dodging fairy fire? Is this something like it's moving to do it, or is it shaking it off?
I don't know.
This is a good time because I mean, he is climbing down a ladder.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, he's climbing. I don't know if he's able to dodge it with dexterity.
I have no idea if the actual how of fairy fire was ever really thought out.
Right. Because it doesn't seem like, I mean, if you put it in a cube, it just seems like, oh, well, when you're in that cube, it's stuck on you,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see it being maybe it's like a little firefly light that then explodes into a bunch of firefly lights, and maybe one touches you, maybe one doesn't, but still. Who knows?
Well, I'm going to say he has a -1 for doing this while he is rolling down, or trying to dodge while he is falling down. So let's give him. Did it roll? Oh, but it rolled secret. Your spell DC is?
Is 14.
He does not pass. So he
He
lights
cannot
up like
benefit from being invisible.
like a Christmas light as you guys see him now, as he kind of uncovers from invisibility as he's going down, and he stares up at Bite and Del Nadre, eyes wide open, just like, oh, fuck.
How did Bite get in? I forgot.
He just
He
climbed.
climbed.
Just did a standing long jump. which you can do as well if you wish.
Yeah,
to
I will
move directly.
climb up and try to get in or close to there.
Okay. What is your strength?
0.
Modifier? 0? I think you would need to move in order to reach the top. Is that what your website says, Bitte? Bitte?
Let me plug.
Because he's also
plug
not
it
as
in.
tall as you. So I'd assume you'd have to move 10 feet and then move 10 feet to run.
My
Oh
speed
my
is 30
goodness, where
feet,
did
so
I leave-
yeah.
So I mean,
Where
I'm
in the
just
world did
wondering
I leave this tab?
if you will be able to make it up and just be on the top, or if you can make it up and actually jump down.
Okay, so strength of 10. And she's 6 feet, so with a running start, she can only reach almost 14 feet off the ground.
I'll give it to you. I'll be nice. Well, yeah, I'll be nice. We'll say you can like use the arrow slit since you're going up that way to kind of climb up, get a foothold.
Yeah, like stick a foot in it for a hold.
Right, exactly. In fact, if you're doing that, you have two
Can I just
options.
make a climb check?
If you want to make an athletic check, you don't have to use your movement, but there is a chance that you will use it all if you fail your check and still end up in the same place.
That's fine.
So, I mean, it's, yeah.
I shouldn't have had disadvantage, so
Yeah,
that would be
so
be a 20.
You're able to climb up no problem, and you kind of maneuver your way 15 feet. You have 15 feet left of movement. Both of the hatches are open, so you can see straight down, and you see him just there.
I want to do something stupid.
I hope it's what I was thinking you were going to do.
Where is the ceiling hatch with relation to the bottom hatch?
20 feet.
Well, like...
Oh, from where you to that?
Like straight up and down.
I'd say it's about 6 feet or so. I should have also mentioned, I bet that you're kind of a hunching over.
Are they one above the other, I think is what
Yeah, I'm asking,
yes,
is one directly above the other?
It's directly above the other, yes. If you fall down...
I want to just fall directly down and try to land on the guy.
Right.
I know I'm going to take fall damage, but I don't care.
No, it's good. It's exactly what I had hoped you would do. So I'm going to roll... So let's see. If he had 5 feet of movement left, so he's 5 feet down the ladder. That's about a 10 foot of falling. That is 1d6 damage, correct?
Yeah.
10 feet a foot. Okay, so 1d6 damage.
And how far further down the ladder? Because I'm assuming a half-orc slamming into him from above would knock both of us down to the bottom of the ladder.
So I'm going to roll strength to see whether or not he has the ability to hold on as you hit him. He's still going to take 1d6 falling damage from you just landing on him. But whether or not he takes 3d6 falling damage as he falls all the way down, which you will be taking.
Okay.
Because you're focusing, I'm assuming you're focusing all of your stuff to land on him, right?
Yep.
Not just to like, oh, I want to jump down and grab onto the ladder. I want to land on him. Yeah, so let's see if he's able to succeed. Roll me your 3d6 fall damage.
All right, 7. Not terrible.
I'll roll 1d6 for him. 3. Okay. And he makes an attempt to hold on, but when you impact with him, that's it. He loses all of his willpower, his strength. Let's see. And it does not seem that fall damage is non-lethal damage. So the Durigard tumbles down below you. Rosemary, you land right on top of him, and you hear the most sickening crunch as his bones get crushed underneath you.
Oh, no.
And a small puddle of blood starts to pool out from his chest.
I am living up to my last name.
That was awesome.
Someone else just
I
saw
feel really
Rosemary
bad, but also that was kind of fun.
Just like Snorlax's body slam from the ceiling, just...
I probably didn't have to cast Fairy Fire, but... I could have just fucking done that.
Just he's dead.
He's fucking dead.
So Levi will take this opportunity now that combat is finished to just kind of hop on in.
Throw up.
Just like, oh, that's nasty.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get him. I can probably just grab him and hold him down, and we don't have to. Oh no, what happened?
Rosemary's like, I might have not thought that entirely through. I'm really sorry. It was not my intention.
So
I think he was like shouting to alert some other people. Do you like see anyone? Is there anyone down there?
Do I see anyone?
It's kind of dark.
Do you have dark vision, right?
I do.
Okay, so I'll make you go in here. So there's nothing in the tunnel. You kind of move forward. You notice there's another hatch that goes about 10 feet up.
Okay. I can't see
Oh.
shit.
Uh-oh.
What am I looking at?
So the scale on this map is slightly off. Huh.
Yeah, I just see like a tiny little bit of hallway, and then I can see like kind of in this direction. So I don't really know where I am at the moment.
Yeah, you're in a tiny hallway. It's not really on the map. So those little dashed lines on each side of your character, that's just like the tunnel that goes from the outpost to the crossbow up and in the bunker, but he has the war pick on his body.
Anyone want a war pick?
I'm okay, thanks.
We can gather it all up and bring it back to Kirkonic to sell.
We should hide that body though.
Yeah, Bito will first check on Rosemary to make sure she's not, real hurt.
Also dead.
Also-
She's fine. She got a little bit beat up on the way down, but she'll be fine. If we can drag him back up to the bunker, maybe not leave him in the tunnel.
Bito will do that.
All right. Where would you like to put the gear? Are you just going to leave the body? You'll come back through for the gear. Or would you like to put the gear in your sled right now?
Yeah, I think Bito will go ahead and toss the gear out into the snow at the foot of the arrow slit.
Okay.
So that he can pick it up. Like, he doesn't have to go all the way, pack it in the sled, come back. Like, he'll just toss it out so he can grab it on the way out.
Right. Okay. All right. So we continue into the tunnel then. Moving forward, we have...
Does Levi have the battle axe already?
The one that you had given him?
Yeah.
Yes, he does have it with him.
Okay, then I guess Bita will stick the war pick. Well, actually, in case they have to try and talk to someone, he will not have their friend's war pick in his belt.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Probably smart.
That's Steve's.
Thank you very much. His name was, and you have no way of knowing this,
York.
Brojik. Brojk. Brojik. And so, continuing onto the tunnel, you climb back up the ladder, go into the other side, and who would like to be the person in front?
Probably the
Resident.
person with the eyes.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Yes. All right. So
I was gonna say, probably our
stealthy.
our rogue.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
unless we want to
Nick
just
Sneaky
forego
Pants.
stealth and pop out like a torch or something, or a sword of fire.
could do that.
First, Rosemary's a little bit befuddled that you guys can't see. It's like, what do you mean you can't see?
It's
just
very, it's dark. It's like,
which is just like most they have to buy by smell when it's dark.
What?
Mostly I just smell my way through the world. I mean, I know most of the paths. It's not a... I had to get very used to walking in the dark. I can't really make my shipments carrying fire if I'm trying to convince orcs and goblins that I'm a yeti.
You use your nose, you have eyes.
When it's dark.
Yeah. You could see. Can you not see? Rosemary
Not
holds
those-
up 3 fingers. Like, how many fingers am I holding up?
What fingers?
Christ, y'all.
Who is this person that's talking?
Or I guess
Rosie-
Sylvanas, y'all. I don't know who Christ is.
We call him
no
Christ. It's
Jesus in the
it's
far
just a
realms.
friend thing. You wouldn't understand.
All right. So, Rosemary, I need you to roll me stealth as you try to very carefully open up the next little.
I will use
hatch.
guidance because I know I'm not
Guidance.
the most stealthy.
Not the most stealthy, she says, and we shall find out.
16.
Next time on D&D.
No, not done yet. But
Immediately.
nobody notices you as you wander up and into this new room. Here you have a little small outcropping where you are, that you kind of come up from the tunnel, some slanted walls and a little bit of a choke point. And further on in the room ahead of you, you have piles and piles of equipment that have been pushed against the wall and just kind of laid in a slightly organized manner, but also looks like, this is something they go through on a daily basis. They're constantly picking up gear and putting back gear, but there are 4 little piles of gear sit around. You can
4
just
little piles of gear.
yes, 4 little piles of gear on the wall. 4 little piles of gear.
I will try to surreptitiously see if there's weapons, and if there are, I will take them to make our jobs easier in the future.
All right.
Disguises.
Where would you like to place these weapons? For you find um, 2 steel shields, 3 war picks, 9 javelin, and then a variety of other gear and armor.
Shit. I will pass them back through this door.
Is all the armor dwarf sized or?
It is.
Yeah, the weapons and the armor I will try to pass back through the door. I don't know if my friends just want to leave it in that little corridor, or if we have the time to put it back into the room, just to kind of try to make our lives a little easier in case shit goes sideways real quick.
Taking whatever armor is being handed to me, and I'm trying to hide it in a corner, but I'm just sort of just setting it on the ground.
Oh yeah, handing it to our 2 friends who can't see shit. Just hold this, and also this.
Here, hide this. Okay. Sets it down in the middle of the hallway, kind of pushes it away with his foot a little bit.
So after you guys, and I'm assuming once you get the weapons, you probably just want to get everything, or do you want to just leave the non-weapon stuff there? Because there are also 2 suits of scale mail and 2 climbing kits and 4 mess kits that you find in this room.
Climbing kit is fun. I will take a climbing kit for myself.
Okay.
You said there's 2 of them?
Yes, there are 2 of them.
I'll hand one to Dell because I figure Dell probably could use one.
Yes. What is this?
It's a climbing kit. That way we won't have to make Bitte throw you anymore.
2 sessions later, Blake has used his climbing kit with his hook on a rope, and his Chronicles of Riddick moving along the hillside as Bitte just throws him out and he just loops around. All right.
Beautiful.
So, if you'd like to keep moving on forward, Rosemary, and would anyone else like to join her up the ladder?
Yeah.
Yeah, Beta will follow.
Okay. Now, with Levi being the way he is, would you like him to follow along? Or would you like him to stay put and kind of watch things?
He's not very sneaky, is he?
He's not very sneaky, no. But he's still useful in combat, but he's not very sneaky.
We have him trail like a little bit behind.
The big thing is that if he comes with you guys, he's going to factor into group checks. So whereas with you three, you need 2 people to succeed. With Levi, you need 3 people to succeed.
Beta, keep a lookout. So that's my name. Levi, keep a lookout.
And so he's
Tells
gonna...
himself to keep a look.
All right, so we'll say Levi is just kind of sitting there. We'll move him back to the outpost, but yeah, he's just chilling over there. And so we will move on forward with the party here at hand. Okay, so stealth check from everyone as we go forward. Let's see how our different one for you. All right, 23. Good.
I'm gonna continuously give myself guidance on stealth.
Okay.
Because I think I have the lowest stealth modifier.
By 1.
By 1.
All right, so Dale, you got the highest there, and you guys kind of get to keep on moving along. Let's see. So you hear somebody snoring.
That's a 14, by the way.
14 for what?
Not the night. For the stealth, for me.
Oh, you have disadvantage?
Yeah, scale now.
Oh shit. If you have disadvantage, I'm giving my guidance to you.
Even though yours. Yeah, so okay, still good. You guys hear some snoring coming from around the corner as you move further into it, and you've kind of gotten through the moving around of equipment and such. There is a hallway leading to the north as you kind of peek around the corner there. Not to the north, leading off to the west, going up, like vertically up. It's slanted up.
Okay, so this way?
Yes.
Is it still dark or is it light?
It is dark. There are absolutely no torches within this outpost.
Rosemary will then lead.
Okay.
And go. Do I see this?
You do.
This guy?
You see a sleeping Duergar propped back in his chair, looking out the barred windows. He does not seem to notice you.
He's sleeping, you said?
He is sleeping, yes.
Okay.
He is on watch and sleeping.
I'll look back to the others and try to convey that there is a sleeping guy. So I'm sure they can probably hear him.
I would like to know what kind of hand gestures you're doing here.
Puts her like palms together up at the side of her face by her ear and like tilts her head sideways like a person sleeping.
Dale is staring not completely off, but definitely not exactly in your direction.
Oh god, yeah. She keeps forgetting that y'all can't see.
Does not react at all to your hand signs.
She will then whisper and say, "There's a guy sleeping."
Oh, that's what that noise is. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's pretty funny when you really
Should
look
we-
at how much they can
And
see.
then I hand motion, like sliding a finger along my throat.
Rosemary gives a thumbs up despite the fact that he can't see it. And kind of like... I feel like she's kind of like leading them around to the guy so that we can just fucking sneak attack him.
We're all just like holding on to her thorn whip as she leads us along.
Yeah, you guys have a good stealth. He is sleeping. You can make your way a bit closer. I'll control your
Can we-
character, guys.
We could also just like gag him and hog tie him.
I feel like of the supplies, could I have grabbed like, I don't know, like a shirt or like some sort of strip of fabric?
Yeah, I mean, well, the Durgar for the most part wears scale mail. I suppose he does have like pants. You could have grabbed some fabric, but you'd have to go back and get that unless you have something you have on you that you're willing to rip off. You could use your cloak. You could pull your
I like
hat
my
down
cloak.
around his head and tie that. You have rope for sure.
Stick a fucking rat in his mouth.
You could do that. I don't think it would make him not talk, but
That would be bad.
French.
Beta can just jump over top of him and jam the handle of a hatchet into his mouth.
Jesus.
It would sufficiently convey the ominous nature of his situation and why it's important to be quiet.
That works.
Is there anyone
Alright.
else around?
Okay.
Are we in like a closed off room?
Oh yeah, so
Asking Rosemary just because.
there is a
Do I see anything else?
there is a
what's
door.
this?
So that's to outside.
The door closed?
The door is closed. Let me look at dynamic lighting. So ignore the fact that you can see now through the slits because there's still no sunlight washing in like it shows. But I'm just showing you like where you are in relation to things.
So there wouldn't be like bits of light coming in through the cracks of the door?
They're not at the door. No. Through the windows, the barred windows, there's a little bit of dim light. It's not as bright as it was. It really only covers like right next to where the person is standing and no further, because it's still overcast, and the way the outpost is set up, not much really spills in. So yes, you can
Okay.
see more than what it is there, but yeah, it's just
We
there's,
we
like,
can
a
just
little bit
vaguely
of-
see the dude. I guess we can like see his outline or whatever.
yes, you can vaguely see him.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of dim light for my friends.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, all right. So we're gonna stuff the butt of a hand axe down his throat.
Not the butt, like across his mouth, like the handle itself. Like he's got one hand below the head, one hand at the handle, and he's like straddling him. He's jumping over top of him and jamming like the handle sideways into his mouth.
Okay. And almost immediately, as soon as he wakes up, you start hearing. And he kind of stares at you with these glaring eyes. But roll me intimidation to see how, after his initial shock, to see how well
I'm gonna
you're.
give assistance with that by pulling out a knife and just kind of holding it up to him.
Like twiddling it
Like,
around
you
your
should-
hands.
Take a little closer
What?
look at your situation here, friend.
All right, so 13 on your intimidation with advantage thanks to Dell. Rosemary, would you like to give him some guidance?
Yeah, I'll give guidance.
Just cast guidance for everything. I mean,
Yeah.
all right.
Anything that I can, as long as I'm next to them, I can do guidance on.
Yeah, 16. Okay, so he kind of, after his initial shock, he kind of, you can see in his eyes that he understands the situation. He's still defiant. He's still, has some fight in him. He still struggles a little bit of you, but after a while, he kind of just relaxes almost into it. You feel as though you can slowly take the axe handle out of his mouth if you want.
You have my apologies for the nature of this greeting. But we have some quick inquiries for you. And he slowly pulls it out. It's like, I recommend simple, calm discussion as opposed to the alternative. And he just holds the axe like normal, in one hand, in view, and kind of relaxes back onto his knees further back on the dwarf's like over the dwarf's like pelvis
Okay.
or whatever. So he's still an 8-foot tall guy dressed as a yeti with an axe straddling him. But
all right. The first thing's in his mouth, you don't quite understand him, but he just starts like muttering something in Dwarvish. You can, from what you
I
can
smack him
gather,
on the side of the head. Come on now,
Hey.
speak the common tongue.
he begins to speak what you assume is undercommon, some sort of slang curse word for the smack on his head. Does anybody speak undercommon?
Smack him
No.
again.
I will try asking in common, druidic, halfling, and orc if he knows any of those languages.
He just stares at you and then spits.
It's like, sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Beta will try giant.
He spits again at you.
All right, I don't think we're gonna get anything out of this guy.
Here's a question. So, Giant and Dwarvish use the same script. Would there be any ability to read between the two?
You would need to roll an intelligence check, and you wouldn't get exactly what he's saying, but you'd kind of get something.
I've always interpreted that like they use the same letters, but it's like different configurations of words.
Like the
Right.
difference
Like the
between
way
like
you can
Spanish and
spell
Italian.
English and Spanish, like with the same letters, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean they're the same words.
Yeah, if you're feeling generous, English and Norwegian, where you can kind of understand what's going on.
But there might be like, since it's at least a script he could read, yeah, I guess you could maybe argue that there might be like a word or two he could pick up as like, oh, that probably means this. They sound like the same word.
Okay. In that case,
But again,
will say,
that's I guess the DM's ruling, and he was saying something before I interrupted.
Yeah.
why don't we just tie him up for now?
Yeah, I would
Unless
say
the DM has
the
something else
best
to
you
say.
can do is kind of try to play charades with him using nonverbal, interactions and stuff. Yeah, it's you're not really going to be able to communicate with him efficiently. And
Yeah,
for something of like a torturing, you're getting things of like, this is an apple. No, we call that blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I would say tying him up or killing him would be your best options.
Beta would opt to tie him up.
Okay. You guys stuff his mouth,
Mm-hmm.
tie him up in his chair, or like in the ground. Do you throw him back into the tunnel, or do you just leave him where he is?
I don't want to put him with the weapons that we confiscate.
But you could have
Yeah.
Levi
Drag
just
him
walk
out
over.
of view of that door.
Okay.
Like if there's like at least a little bit of a corner and alcove, we can get him away, and then kick him in the head and see if I can knock him unconscious.
Okay. All right. Roll me just a base d20.
Five.
You kind of like caress his face with your foot.
Christ.
Do not knock him out, and he just kind of like he stares at you and begins muttering very loudly beneath his gag.
Shut up.
Beta will roll him onto his stomach and then say, "Apologies once again, but it seems we want you unconscious." And he will stick the handle of his hand axe through one of the loops of rope that goes like sort of around his neck, and he's just gonna turn the handle of the axe so that it constricts. And then he's just gonna watch until he passes out.
Okay, yeah.
Rosemary just like raises an eyebrow at him, like, "Damn, okay."
All right, so you asphyxiate him. He passes out. Yeah.
And then he sticks a finger under his nose. Still breathing.
Okay, good. Yeah.
On we go.
On we
This
go.
is I did not really anticipate us not being able to communicate. I did not realize these would be Durgar.
Not just dwarvish.
Now we know.
Because aren't the like normal dwarves or in and around the cairn just regular dwarves?
Yeah, I mean they speak common along with dwarvish.
Yeah.
Good to know that peace
Out of
was never an
curiosity,
option.
does that guide at the store happen to be a dwarf?
He did, yes.
Motherfucker.
Well,
That's the point of hiring him. How
Rip.
dare you, Corey?
I mean,
we
I
don't
was
have
surprised you
good
couldn't
gold
even.
dust there.
You couldn't really. It could be a. If this would have been lasting more than a day, it would have been a pretty hefty bill.
Yeah, exactly. It's not.
Pretty-
It's fine. It's not worth it. We don't need to know their motivations.
Yeah. A few gold is not worth these dwarves' lives.
They've
Or
also,
is
yeah,
worth
they've
way
identified
more than
themselves
these
as
dwarves' lives.
undercommon dwarves, or yeah, like underdark dwarves. So they're definitely villains.
Yeah, we're okay.
Nothing good comes out of the underdark. That's not racism. That's just fact.
That's not racism. That's fantasy.
All
You're
right.
talking also to someone who's
Wizards of the
half
Coast
orc
trying
at the
so
moment.
hard over the past couple years to do away with just like blanket racial statements, and we're like, no.
Rosemary starts sweating.
Let's lean in.
Uh,
God.
Rosemary's also gonna make sure he
Anyway.
just doesn't have any weapons on him or something that he can use to
This.
like cut the
Ignore
stuff.
Yeah, we give
like
him
blinking
and
in and out of
the room
existence.
as good a like look over as we can without making too much noise.
I'm sorry. Say that again. I'm adjusting something.
I was saying we could give this place as good a look over as we can without making too much noise.
The room you're in
Both him.
is just pretty much fairly.
Can we light the Schwinga lantern and like put a hood on it so that
Of
we have
course.
dim
I
light?
think it is a hooded lantern, right?
It is a hood lantern, yes. So, um, mhm, mhm. I think it's like 30%. What's the light for a lantern? 20/20?
It's 30/30 regularly, but if you hood it, it's 5 feet of dim.
5 feet of dim. And none of bright light?
Correct.
Okay. It's not going to be much because Blake already give you guys like a. You can kind of see it there, but I gave you guys a 5 feet of dark vision, anyways. So while it's hooded, you're really not getting much of a difference there.
Can
But
at least see
now it makes
something.
sense.
Yes, now it makes sense to see it. You're right.
Oh, so that's the door.
Rosemary
Then-
can go first if you like. Yeah, is
More wall. More
that the
wall,
door?
more
Yes,
wall.
that is the door.
And was
Rosemary
there
will-
anything else?
Where's the door?
There was
oh,
nothing else
over
there.
there. Okay, I thought it was
There's-
this corner that Betty was hiding in.
There's nothing else in this room except for the chair that the person was sitting on.
Gotcha.
Rosemary's gonna try to open this door sneakily.
I'm gonna go over in the corner.
Sneakily. All right, roll me stealth to see how well you do it. Oof. Oof.
Not very sneaky.
Not very sneaky at all. Yeah, it kind of cracks open. And right in front, Rosemary, you and this ogre zombie and these two goats lock eyes.
Rosemary very slowly closes the door, looks to her friends, and is the ogre zombie in a cage? Is that what that is?
It is in a cage, yes.
I'll very
It's a
slowly
cage.
close the door and look to my friends and say, there is a undead ogre in a cage and two goats. So these are definitely the thieves.
I'm picturing the I'm picturing the Space Jam thing with Daffy Duck. We found the shorts.
So as you close the door,
No one's digging on my Space Jam reference. Oh, complete rejection! Wow.
so you close the door,
Oh man.
and just as you close it, and Bitte makes a funny joke, um, you hear just this. And the
Angry?
cage
Do we want?
starts
Let's go deal with this.
starts.
All right, y'all. Let's go in and see what we can do about this. There's not another way we can go, right?
I mean, you can leave,
Nah.
but yeah, you can. You're pretty much just going straight.
All right, I'm fully opening the lantern.
Yeah, Rosemary's
Else is no longer an option.
going in.
All right, let me get this going for you then. So 30 feet of bright, 30 feet of dim, and slightly no hood, right?
Correct.
There you go. So you walk in, and you don't see immediately once you get in. You don't see anybody. Nobody else is in the general area. But as more of you guys walk through the door, the ogre starts to make more and more noise, just like
An ogre
I don't know
zombie.
how zombie ogres talk, but its tongue flapping around its half rotten jaw. It has a sword sticking out of it, and it's
I
just
say,
like
"Hello, friend. That looks like it hurts a lot. Do you speak common?"
and reaches out. It's trying its best to get as much of its hand out. Portions of its arm are getting like jammed up and slouched off by the cage doors as it just forces its rotting flesh even closer to you, just all the while screaming in
I will
anger.
try orc and say, "Hey, it's okay. Hey,
Be-
calm down."
I'm
Be-
edging
Beta
around this
will
pit without getting close to the ogre.
Beta will give a kind of like harsh whisper in giant. Be still, creature.
It
That
kind
was a
of
little.
it cocks its head as you say that in giant, and it stops for a second. And Dell, as you are making your way around, you hear ever so slightly the creak of a door and some footsteps off to the left of you. And so before we get any
Uh-oh.
further, let me read the description of these rooms. Um, so inside the room with the ogre is a hall that is devoid of any decoration. There is a frozen well, which is what that little object is right behind you, Rosemary. There's a frozen well that stands near the hallway that goes off to the east, where you guys came from, and there are 3 iron cages that are pushed against the wall. Obviously, you notice that one of them contains a very malodorous ogre with rotting and half frozen skin and one empty right eye socket. It is howling in despair. At the sight of you, however, at this moment, it is currently silent, kind of cocking its head off to the side as it listens to uh, Bitte. There is another cage right next to it that contains 2 goats, vaguely matching the descriptions of goats that were given by the owner of the hook, line, and sinker. And
These
finally, the
goats
third.
match descriptions of goats.
Finally, the
And then
third
there's a
cage
lantern in a cage.
is empty with nothing inside it. There is some dried blood, showing that something had been inside it at one point, far off in the past. And leaning against the wall next to the cages, so directly next to the ogre, there is a large wooden dog sled with some ice still clung to it. Okay. And now for the description of Del Nadre's room. That is a long room divided in the middle by 2 open doorways that stand empty. And the far southwest corner, which is, you can't see it yet, Del.
Yeah.
In the far southwest corner, that is where there is, you kind of like, I'm assuming you peek around the corner a little bit and you see a lever that sticks out of the wall. But as I mentioned before, Del, you hear the door creak open and some footsteps begin to walk out, something
Yeah,
is
I'm
talking in
gonna
Dwarvish.
set the lantern on the ground right where I
Okay.
am
All right.
and run around and hide behind this corner.
Okay. All right. Taking the high.
Fully. Oh God.
Not bad. Not bad. You also hear some. Nothing yet. No. Sorry. Getting ahead of myself. So, walking out. It's like, oh, what is happening? Sorry, it's in Dwarvish. Blah, 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 blah. Bitte, Rosemary, as you see Dell hide, and Dell, do you give them any kind of sign that somebody's coming?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my rapier and kind of. I mean, and indicate that I'm preparing for battle.
Yeah. Bitte, Rosemary, how do you react?
Vito will have his axes at the ready and prepare to draw them at any immediately hostile threat.
Okay. And Rosemary? Oh, she is muted.
Shit, sorry. I've been talking this entire time. I will move over to put the well between me and this area and get ready for battle.
Okay. Do you want to try to hide behind it? Or you just kind of use it
I'm
as...
too big to hide behind it, but I think I'm going to try anyway.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Vito will try and
Oh, is this that well?
poorly somewhere.
It's that well. So, kind of, yeah. Oh, my bad. So this is just a gate that's right here. That kind of.
Okay, but
that's
is this
going,
a wall?
It looks like it's a pit, right?
Yeah, looks like it's a pit.
It's like a little drawbridge.
So these are like. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
gotcha.
30-foot pit. 30-foot deep pit.
Okay, then I guess Vito will. Oh no, that's a little close to the zombie. Vito will just stand here. Watch him.
All
Or
right.
wait, no. Is the thing we're hiding from over here?
It's
Here,
from where
down
Dell
here.
is.
From up here?
Yeah, it's coming from that direction.
Past this way, down here-ish, around like a
Okay,
corner,
yeah.
I think, right?
Okay,
Yeah, he's
then
coming
Vito's
around the
happy
corner
about
to the
there.
left.
I haven't really fully. Can you even see stuff on black? No.
Okay, so Duergar kind of makes his way out, standing in the doorway.
But again, I left the lamp sitting on the ground, like right there.
Yeah, he kind of steps out and looks around, and yeah, the light is still on you, but we're assuming it's not. So Del, you can't quite
Right.
see where Bitta is, but you do see this a little bit more ordained, still, to a large part, just very much dressed for war.
I'm just gonna drop my character token for now.
Yeah, but you're over there.
Just to change the lighting.
Right. And he kind of looks, and immediately he looks at the lantern, and his weapons kind of like, he pulls them out already. And he starts staring around. We're going to see if he happens to if he can catch an eye of Dell. Your stealth was
10.
10. So he kind of like looks in your direction and looks kind of further out. He takes a step, and immediately as he steps out further, he sees a little bit of you and stops. And he just says, "Who go there?"
Oh, this guy speaks common.
Hello. I seem to have gotten lost. How? Where is this? Where am I?
So as soon as you begin to speak comment back at him, he unleashes a javelin at you. More so much of a warning shot, but he does throw it right at your feet, and it kind of just right there in front of you. And he pulls off of his chest a horn and goes,
Shit.
and
All
he
right, I think we're
runs
made.
and he runs back. But he grabs your lantern when he goes.
Dick.
And this
What?
is the color chanting lantern?
Yes.
Yeah, that's our lantern. Shit.
Well, I guess we give chase.
How far away is the guy?
Can you see that light?
Yeah.
I can see the effects of it, yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Could I see him when he walked up?
From where you are, yes, you could have saw him. So like
As
after
soon
he
as
threw the
he
javelin, if you would have wanted him to, you can try to, or when he's blowing the horn, rather.
Yeah, I would have, when he started running, I want to cast Entangle on this area. It's a 20-foot square starting from a point within range, and the
Okay.
range is 90 feet.
All right. So from that, so it's 20-foot square. So would that would also capture in that Del Nage, right?
I would want to do it like this way,
Okay.
if I could. Like I can't really see around this corner, but I kind of want to start it in like this area to go around here.
Mhm. So like have the
Maybe,
square,
like,
start the square from a point, not from the center.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Creature in the area when you cast a spell must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends, and this 20-foot square turns the ground into difficult terrain.
Okay. Okay. So strength of something when your DC is 14.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so he does not get to run away. He is stuck where he blew the horn, his lantern in hand. Still just right there.
I'm doing a lot of support spells today, it looks like. But yeah, his speed is 0, attacks against him have advantage, and his attacks have disadvantage.
Okay.
He can, on his turn, do another strength saving check to try to get free.
Oh wait.
All right.
Or a strength check
Um,
on his turn.
saving. It was a strength saving throw, correct?
Yeah.
Would you count that as a strength saving throw against a spell? I would say yes, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Correct.
It's
Okay,
a
so
spell.
he had advantage there.
Ah.
Roll for him again. Sometimes I was, because the spell creates a physical
Mass. Yeah.
mass, right? So it's like that's not technically a spell. And god damn it, where the fuck is my dice? I guess I'll roll this one.
Regardless, if he succeeds, it still turns it into difficult terrain.
Right, that part he's still gonna have to suffer through, so he might not get as far as he's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna roll this one. All right. With that advantage roll, he does succeed on not becoming restrained, but he doesn't get as far since he kind of just gets past this and positions himself right over here.
Okay.
So that's
All right.
So maybe Dell can get a attack on him before he gets too far.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pursue.
okay. So we'll roll initiative now.
I don't know why I'm in the tracker as 13. I just rolled a 6. Wait.
It probably It updated for 13, unless you did it yourself.
No, I should be a 6.
Oh.
I thought I clicked on my token, but apparently, because I'm on the measurement thing.
Ah.
Should I roll again, or do you want to just
No,
sub
I
it in?
already adjusted to 6. Okay. Okay. 5 and 8. Okay. Rosemary, and leave it as it belong there. Okay. All right. So, make sure everything looks good. We are starting it off here with Bitte. Bitte, you are first up on the turn order.
Okay. So here, where am I?
You're right there.
Sorry, the lighting is giving me a weird thing where there's like this gap of darkness right here, except when I'm standing over it, I don't know where anything is. This lighting thing is fucking with me.
Yeah, because you have no light.
Yeah, so where is the lamp?
It's in the other person's. So like where you see that like the light coming off from the northeast of you, that's coming from the lantern that Dell set down and the Durigar picked up and took with him.
Why did you put the lantern down?
It's supposed to be a distraction.
Okay, so that's over here?
No, it just so happened that it's coming from the left. It just so happens that
Okay.
because of the way that where he is standing, it reaches that far because that's within 60 feet.
Okay, so but I can see that there's like a glow over in this area.
Yes, you can see where the lantern is coming from. So anywhere where you see the lantern is that's where.
Okay, so Vito will come like there.
Okay.
And then what area over here is difficult terrain?
If it started where his person is, so basically.
It's a 20-foot square.
Okay, draw the square. Yes.
Yeah, let's do this. I can't see in like this direction, so I'm just gonna do like that.
Okay, I'll try it for you.
Okay.
Boop, 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 boop. I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so
right where you are is difficult terrain.
Okay. Beta wouldn't be subjected to the spell effects of it, would he?
It is
it
still
being
difficult terrain, but he wasn't in the area when I cast it, so he's not restrained.
Okay, so Beta will get, I guess, right here, and will launch 2 hand axes
Okay.
at this bastard.
Throw them. Throw.
And I have the 2-weapon fighting style at this moment. So both get my yeah, and since well, I guess I have advantage because of the thing anyway, so that is a crit.
What thing? He's not restrained.
Okay, well, okay, in that case, then I have it in any case from Natural Explorer. First turn during combat, you have advantage on attack rolls against creatures that have not acted yet.
Oh, okay. Then yes,
Nice.
the first one is a crit. So that will hit.
Right.
For
Will
10.
the 14 hit?
The 14 will not hit.
Okay.
Okay. Your hand axe
Yeah.
buries itself in the upper thigh of the Duragar. He lets out a shout and what you suspect to be a curse at you.
I should have gone ahead and done Hunter's Mark, and then it would be 2d6s.
Then it would be even better, yeah. But you did not, sir.
I know.
1d10 for your hand axe when you throw it? Damn. Oh no, 1d6
no,
plus 4. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So if there's nothing else left to do, Del Andre?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Where's this guy like actually at? What square is he
sorry,
in?
he's in that square right ahead of you.
Right here.
Then I'm going to attack.
Okay. That is a miss.
This guy's evasive.
Yeah, he ducks behind his shield, kind of like whip it around. He's able to kind of bring it up, and what he is able to do as well as part of your attack and his defense, he kind of like twirls around like almost like a parry, and he knocks his shield into the lever. And what it does is it brings down these spikes that
The fuck?
seal off this barrier right here, the hallway.
Is using a lever an action, or is that a free action?
It's going to be his reaction.
Well, I'm just saying, generally speaking, like.
Object interaction.
It'd be an
Normally.
object interaction, yeah.
So what is that? I don't remember. Is that a free action or?
Object
that work?
interaction.
It's an action.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking. Is object interaction an action or?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and bonus action dash, and just slippy slide over the lever. In my turn there.
Okay.
Well,
All
I
right.
think object interactions are normally their own thing, aren't they?
What do you mean by that?
Like if you were gonna open a door, you can open a door, then bonus action move. Like an object interaction is typically like its own like available set.
Right, that's what I've been trying to ask.
Yeah,
if
like
a free
if it's a
action or
free
not.
action or if it takes your action on your turn.
Yeah, it's not technically a free action because you can only technically do one of them,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't use up your action. It's like the difference between being like, I want to move this cart or I want to open a door. Like moving a cart is like takes up effort and would be like, okay, roll an athletics check. But opening a door is like, yeah, you open a door, whatever.
Right. Moving on through it. Are you asking because you'd like to open the lever on your turn?
I mean, if I can use the lever on my turn, I'll do it. But
Did you have to use dash to get over there?
yes, is the difficult terrain.
Just like he used his reaction to flip it open, if you would like to give your reaction to open it back up, I will allow that.
Sure.
Okay. So he flicks it down. You kind of just maneuver your way around him and flick it right back up. The
Nope.
door is once again open. And he just gives you this incredulous look like, are you serious?
I give him the same look, like I'm standing right here, dude.
And so it is the ogre zombie's turn. And he is going to roll some strength checks to attempt to get out of his cage. He does not. He's not successful in breaking the lock off the cage. So he just spends the time renewing his wailing moans and shaking the cage as loudly as he can. The goats next to him, one of them has died of a heart attack, or has had a heart attack rather, and is now passed out. And the other one is just fear stricken. And so, Rosemary, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna use my movement to get here if I can. Like that. Okay, I can see a little bit better. And he is within. Yep, he's within 30 feet of me, so I'm gonna use Thorn Whip. Melee spell attack. Ignore that it says produce flame. 13.
13 does not hit.
Okay. And that is my turn, I think.
Okay. All right. So on his turn, Nildar, looking at Del Nadre, is going to take a step back just outside, just this way right here. He's going to open the door behind him. He's not going to move through it. What he's going to do is he's just going to kind of toss the lantern in there. Okay. And he will swing at Del Nadre.
Reference, my AC is 15.
He hits, does not hit. He does not hit. He misses. And then he's going to keep taking some more steps back. Kind of huddle himself in there. And that'll be his turn.
So wait, did the lantern go out or?
He kind of like tossed it to the, I wouldn't say the lantern simply went out, but let's go with the hood fell over it.
Okay.
It's slightly less. There we go. Slightly less thing. He did it specifically. His goal of it was to reduce the sight.
Gotcha.
All right. So next turn, you guys at the start of your turn, Bitte, you hear the door open off to the side. Rosemary as well, and two Durigar make their way out and join the battle.
Where's the sound coming from?
To the south, there is a tiny hallway on the other side of the drawbridge.
Okay. Gotcha.
And let me roll their initiative here. Okay, so one of them is actually going to go first. This one will go second because you said your dexterity is 11, correct? Or 12?
Yes.
Because you have +1. All right, so yeah, so that one will go behind you. And so, right here, zoom out a little bit so we can show that. Go. All right, so the first one, known as Ruvik, is going to enlarge and run forward.
Shit.
It's actually not that big, but he is
I was
big.
gonna say.
So I think what I messed up here on this map is that one square is actually supposed to be 10 feet and not 5 feet. So that's why the ogre is the correct size, even though he's only taking up one square, and everything else has been these little tiny sizes. But I kind of just, it's too late to do that now. So yeah. Anyways, he kind of runs forward. He has nothing else he could do on his turn, so that's where he ends his turn, right next to you. Yep. So
Okay.
now it is Bitte's turn.
Beta will call out. We'll call out to Del to draw the sword, and we'll then go. Trying to think, because he doesn't have any light. He doesn't have any way to make light aside from trying to light a torch.
Yeah.
God.
It's an interesting predicament you have there.
But yeah, he'll call out to Del to draw the sword and be ready to flip the lever when Rosemary's back through.
I'm doing it, Mom. Jeez.
And Beta will run over to Rosemary and can he actually, running over to Rosemary, can he actually see that guy?
When the thing is enlarged, he ran forward with such vigor and made so much sounds that you could make your way out to where the guy is, even in the dark.
Okay. In that case, Beta will will cast Hunter's Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his first time casting a spell, you guys.
Nice. Rosemary's so proud of him.
Mm.
You guys have spells.
So he casts Hunter's Mark, and he will make one hand axe attack.
Okay. So you swing at the large Duergar, and you hit.
So 8 plus 1d6. Nice. So 14 damage. So he runs out, and it's just this giant in the shadows, and Beta just kind of like drops down and does kind of like a spinning thing and like fucking cleaves into his shin, and then comes back up and is kind of trying to bull over in front of Rosemary a little bit so that she can run along
Thanks.
behind him and get some distance.
Okay. All right. Well, the next turn is the other Duergar, who instead of becoming large, uses his movement to run all the way over and opens up the ogre zombie cage. Unleashing this behemoth from its cage. And that's all he's going to do for his turn. So, Del Nadre, back up to you.
I pull out the sword.
Okay. That is, I think I was just looking it up. 10
I think
feet.
it's 10 feet, 10 feet each.
10 feet, 10 feet, bam. Bum, 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 bum.
And then I have no idea what's going on behind me. I mean, I hear noise, but I can't see shit. So I'm going to continue to pursue this guy. It's just
Alright.
you and me in this really small room. What the heck?
Yeah, so inside this room is the commander's quarters. So, granted, remember, it's supposed to be twice as big because of the scale of this map. But
Oh, these are 10-foot squares?
it's supposed to be a 10-foot square, but I didn't see that until too late. So inside this room, the commander's quarters, is a stone-carved bed and a desk. That is all that occupies this drab room. Atop the desk are several shards of a dark crystal, as well as a crumpled-up piece of paper and a burlap sack draped over a glowing object that is emitting colored light that is shifting from blue to green to red.
Hey, it's
Neat.
the other magic lantern.
I forgot about that. I was like, that's probably one of them like mind control crystals. I don't want to look directly into that. Not my problem right now, though. Nope, that's not what I want. Hi-ya! Dang it.
Unsuccessful in your attack. Now, you do have the flaming sword. Did you want to have attacked with, I guess, probably
No, I'm just holding that as a torch.
the...
Also, just to be clear, Beta yelled out, "Draw the sword and be ready to flip the lever," to which Del Nadre pulled out the light and then ran into a different room.
I'm ready, I guess, eventually. Let's see, hold on.
We should have gone to the Good Mead teamwork workshop portion of the election committee.
Y'all.
All right. And it is at this time, running down from the hallway, comes Levi. Because he heard the ogre scream, and he just, despite his stomach, he was just like, I am not gonna not have a fun time this time. Let's see where he's going to end up in his initiative here. 14.
For the love of God, does he have a torch?
And
That's why it
yes,
took him so long.
His
He's been
character
like
icon
bouncing off
does.
all the walls.
he does have a torch.
Hey.
Let's see. Give him 30 feet by 30 feet. Because, yes, Levi would have not been the one for stealth and would have immediately been like, oh, time to do it. Let's get to it. At turn 14. And because he got higher than what it was right now, we're going to put him right after Dale for this round. And so he's going to come in. He's going to see the Ogre Zombie. He's going to see Scorn. He is going to rage. Just immediately, he is going to rage. He is going to pull out his... I don't know if he would do an attack with the greatsword. Probably the greatsword, even though he has the great axe. He is still... He knows how to use a greatsword and doesn't really want to ruin the heraldry of the great axe. So he is going to rush in. Here we go. On the other side of this little dwarf. And Baba Booey, swing and a miss.
Great job.
I don't think rage gives you have advantage to strength checks. You make a play, make plus 2.
Fuck.
Yeah. Okay.
He could reckless, but that's probably not a great idea.
No.
Circumstances.
Well, is reckless level 2?
Yeah, I
So
think
he
it
did-
comes in with rage.
Right. So he doesn't have reckless rage yet.
Are we not level 2?
No, he took another level in fighting.
Oh, okay.
So he's a fighter. He's a level 2, but he's a fighter level 1 and a barbarian level 1. So that he could get blind fighting is his. Oh, let's see. Does that help you with? You can see anything. Invisible creature. You can effectively see anything that isn't in total cover. Okay, so he doesn't really need a torch when
He would have been great to have.
earlier. All right, so that's his turn. Moving on now is the ogre zombie's turn. He's going to step out and immediately try to smack Levi. And pulls out the like a mace that was what was buried in his chest that what I thought was a sword was actually a morning star. He pulls it out, swings, and hits Levi for 9 bludgeoning damage. But Levi has resistance to that due to his due to rage, so he only takes 4 bludgeoning damage.
Fuck yeah.
And now it's Rosemary's turn.
So I am going to see if I can get a little bit creative with spell ranges, if you will allow me to.
Okay.
Thunderwave is a 15-foot square, which would be something like this.
Yes.
Could I arrange that to get all of the bad guys? Because Ruvik is technically partially in there, as is the Ogre and Scorn.
So you could get them all, but you would hit Levi there.
Fuck it, okay. He's a big boy, he can handle himself.
Okay. All right. Roll.
No, they need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes, but show me Constitution saving throw.
It's Thunderwave, it is a first level spell. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, they take 2d8 thunder damage and are pushed 10 feet away from you.
And your let's see, check saving throws.
My
spell DC is 14, correct?
14, yes.
Okay, so he's not going to survive, or he's not going to make out of there. The first Duergar is not going to make it out of there either. The second one that's enlarged will. He'll avoid that. And the ogre gets a 14. So he succeeds by just meeting it.
Okay, anyone who succeeds takes half damage.
Okay.
Anyone who fails takes the full 12 and are pushed 10 feet away. I was really hoping to get this Ruvik guy and to try to push him into this hole.
Unfortunately, he's the one that succeeded.
Wait, didn't Levi get a 14?
No, Levi got a 13.
Where's that roll? Okay, I believe you.
It should be right there, right? The Constitution saving.
Those are. I thought those were an advantage for the dwarves.
No. Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. My bad. I need to roll.
I thought it was a 14, a 12, a 23, and then you said something about another 14.
Yeah, so with advantage.
Oh no, I
21
guess
is
one of
good,
those is an issue.
14
Oh
is
wait.
good, 13 is good. 13 fails with advantage there. So
Oh yeah, I'm
Nothing-
I'm just seeing all of those rolls, but those are the ones that you made for Levi earlier.
yeah, so nothing changes on. And it's 10 feet away from you, correct?
Yeah, 10 feet away from me.
Okay, so he gets pushed back that way. Levi got pushed back towards the door. The ogre zombie is now turned towards you. Lost interest in attacking Levi because he got attacked from behind, and the big giant guy is hurt. He's hurting bad, but he's still alive.
Okay.
Okay.
Those are my spells.
All right. So the Duragar that is fighting Dell is going to bring up his war pick, try to make another swing at Dell. Does a 7 hit? It does not.
It does not.
It does not, and that's his turn. He's not really gonna do anything. He's just stuck in the room with you because you're blocking the door. So
Yeah.
okay.
You're locked in here with me.
So that's where we're gonna end our session. Mostly so that Levi doesn't come back and be like, "Yeah, we beat everything without you." Although I don't think we'll be able to beat this in one session or one of our
I feel
rounds.
bad that I just gave him 12 points of damage.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we had you come back in and help out, and then Rosemary
He's supposed to
just
be a
blasted
Constitution
you.
boy. He's a fighter barbarian.
He has a +5. It's just he just did not roll very well. Just barely. Just barely. Especially you couldn't have given him guidance.
I think I need to be within touch range for that.
Yeah, you need to have touched him.
Yeah.
And also, guidance is an action.
Yeah, that too. So we're gonna end it here. We're gonna pick up in I don't believe we're back in 2 weeks on
The
the
5th.
8th.
8th?
The 5th?
5th is a Saturday. 8th is a Tuesday. Wait, no, that's fucking June. 8th.
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
June.
June.
It's been when I try to click once, it just puts me into June for some reason on my calendar app.
All right. So May 8th. Ooh. Trying to think what I have on that weekend. We will hopefully be back in 2 weeks. If not, we will see everybody back here on May 22nd. We will update our website, which is everybody'samimic.wordpress.com, where you can find more information on our characters, including backstories, things about the players, articles that I've said I will write and have not gotten fully around to, and just other information about our webcast stream. And please also check us out on YouTube. This video will be going up on YouTube shortly. It'll be processed today, probably end up uploaded by the end of the weekend, where you can go back and look at all our past sessions as well as some of our one-on-one sessions that we've had, delve a little bit more deep into each of the characters. Until next time, I am Corey, your Dungeon Master. I am joined by
The rest of us. I'm Ray. I'm Rosemary.
I'm Blake. I'm Dell.
Carson, I'm Beta.
And we were not joined today by Levi, who is played by Ben. It was played by Ben. And we are Everybody's a Mimic. Thank you all for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Toodaloos. Oh, that was weird.
Yeah, that was
That was bad, guys.
very uncool.
Uncool. Just generally, that was not good.